and welcome to another episode of the Produce Department. I am your host, Eddie Dynamite, and this is my co-host, Hefe. Hefe, what's happening?
What's happening? What's happening?
Man, we got a special one for y'all tonight. You know what I'm saying? We got none other than the legendary Dubb Slimm. Dub, what's happening?
What's up, world?
What's up with you, man? What's
Man, you
shaking,
know
bro?
me, man, right here, man, just doing what I do, man. First and foremost, let me say thank you to the team, Hefe and Dynamite, bringing me on. It's an honor to be here,
Yes, sir.
amongst some greats like yourself and shit. And just anybody want to hear me talk, hey, I love that,
Yes,
Peace.
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's see. Wait, without further ado, man, Hef, I be the Dub. Shit. Tell us where you from, man, and tell us and give us the rundown on your childhood, man. You know what I'm saying? Give us some
Well,
game, man.
well, I claim that monkey, you know what I'm saying? 843 all day. Definitely got to be at that HV. That's Haynesville for those that don't know. I'm a transplant. So like they got a saying here in the low country, either you from ya, you been ya, or you come ya, So I've been ya because I'm not from here, but my family's from here. So my mom's from Moncks Corner. I was born in New York, but we moved back down here when I was in school, maybe like 7, 8 years old. We moved down here after my mom and dad got a divorce, and then shit. I've been Carolina kid ever since. But yeah, back and forth, doing summers and shit. I got family in both places, so I do travel a lot. But yeah, that's just what it is right there.
Okay, Dub. So I mean, so when you growing up in Monk's Corner, what kind of work and stuff did your parents do?
Um, my mom was a beautician, so she was the beautician. I say a beautician, but she was the beautician for black women in our town. So like if you want to get the real hairdo, you come to Juanita's House of Style. That's my mom.
Mm-hmm.
My mom was an entrepreneur, very independent and enterprising young lady. She had, at the height of her career, she had 5 salons um,
Mm.
at the same time, 2 in Georgia and 3 here in South Carolina, one in West Ashley, one in North Charleston, which was a hair school and a beauty salon. And she had the beauty salon in Moncks Corner, one in Quitman, Georgia, and one in Valdosta, Georgia. So a hair care and makeup line, a
Oh,
white
oh.
label weave product. We talking like the 80s, late 80s, early 90s. I was in high school.
Mm.
I graduated in the early 90s. So this
Right,
is,
right.
before I got out of school, she was doing all these kind of moves. My grandfather, salute to one of the legends of Moncks Corner, very powerful man.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Another entrepreneur
Mm-hmm.
was, I think my granddaddy made a million, first million like in 63 or some shit,
Oh man.
like he was a millionaire before civil rights era came about, you know what I mean? So when shit was still hard, Jim Crow era type shit,
Mm-hmm.
nigga had scratched out a mill, you know what I mean? So
What kind of work did he do?
he was a general contractor. He built homes, both commercial, I mean, built properties, both residential and commercial,
Mm-hmm.
as well as property management. So along with that, and he also, salute, hats off to Granddad, man.
Mm-hmm.
This nigga built the first water delivery system in the town of Moncks Corner. So the
Mm.
water supply system that's in West End that goes to the homes, it's a well that my granddad dug and they put a tank out there. So it's the Hamilton Haynes Waterworks. It's named for Charles Hamilton, was my grandfather's like right hand man, one of his lead workers, foreman for many many years, Charles Hamilton, and they put this water system together that delivered water to like 22 houses that predates the town of Moncks Corner's water system. So we've had a water system, that we charge people for water delivery to their homes. That's been in existence since 83, I think it was. No, 73. So I remember one of my first project management projects was my 11th grade summer. I was in charge of putting the water meters in, because up until that point we had an honor system where it was just $20 a month for your water bill, and people had a backlog. People hadn't been paying bills in like 5, 6 years. So we went in and put a water meter so that way if you didn't pay the bill, we could put the lock on it, whatever, whatever. So that was my first project management project where I was a project manager on that capital improvement project. So I was like, I've
Okay.
been doing entrepreneurial moves since a teen. You know what I mean? I remember y'all used to tease me because I never was able to do shit after school because I had to go to work. You're like, oh man, your
Mhm.
mama and them had y'all to be slaves. But,
Right. Right.
it was like, because you got to think about it. We had like 3 apartment complexes, an office building.
I was going to
And
ask you, with your last name being Haynes, does that any correlation with the Haynesville? What is the
yes, that is
correlation with
correlation. I used to call or tell all my friends, I used to call myself the mayor of Haynesville because, you
that?
know,
Right.
from Haynesville, I'm a Haynes. So my
Right.
granddad, it was named after my great grandfather, my granddad's father. So uh,
Mm.
we
And what was
actually
his name? What was
received
his
that.
name?
My great granddad, his name was Tom Haynes. So
Tom Haynes.
Grandpa
Okay.
Tom,
Shout
yeah.
out Tom Haynes.
And he received the land from the sharecropper that he sharecropped from. So if
Oh
anybody
wow.
watched Sinners,
Mm.
um, the sharecropper, you weren't really a slave, so you
Right.
were
Right.
kind of free, but you
Mm.
didn't own the land that you worked on. But they
Mm.
gave you the rights to work the land,
With the
and
land. Right.
you got a split of the profit
For the
of
harvest.
whatever the harvest was. So
Right.
it
Right.
might have been
Right.
85-15, pretty much like yes, your standard artist deals be today. You know what I
Right.
mean?
It's like
So
right.
like,
Right.
yeah,
Right.
he gets
Right.
85%. This nigga ain't did shit. You know,
Hmm.
but he
Right.
gets the best, and and
That's
you gotta get a living and feed your family off of the 15% after you don't work 100% of the land and whatever. So,
still keeping
um,
a foot on your neck. You know what I'm saying?
right,
But you got to
right.
get it. Right. Right. Right.
So when he passed, they had a pretty good relationship, my great granddad and that guy.
That's
Um,
right.
and
Sweet.
he left the land to my granddad, my great granddad.
Mm. That's
So my
dope.
great granddad farmed for a little while.
Hmm.
And when he passed and left it to my grandfather and his siblings, they split it up. Everybody got so many acres, right?
Hmm.
And my granddad's idea was to buy his siblings out
Okay.
because it was farmland at the time. It didn't have like how we know it, Haynesville, as we know with the roads and all of that. None
Right.
of that was there. So none of that site work, none of the infrastructure was there. It's just some farmland,
Oh
pastures.
wow.
Mm.
So
Wow.
they didn't have the vision that granddad had. You know what I'm saying? He bought all of them out for pennies on the dollar because like at the time it's farmland. You done inherited this from your family. You trying to get as far away from this shit as you can.
Right.
Um, and this is like around the time of the black exodus, everybody going up north anyway. So he bought all of them out for little or nothing and started subdividing the land, using the land to collateralize some loans to get some working capital to start doing some shit. And funny story, when he went to Farmers and Merchants Bank right there in Mons Corner, the president of the bank at the time didn't know how to amortize a loan. So my granddad had to teach this nigga how to do a mortgage so that he could get a mortgage. You know,
Damn.
yeah, and that
Wow. Wow.
yeah, it
Dope
was
shit though. Dope.
type thing. So
Hey, that's Monk's Corner history, man.
Mons Corner history right
Hey,
there.
let me ask you a question then, because I used to live in Haynesville. So, um, all those houses and like the roads and everything else, your great grandfather, he was in charge of like you said, the architectural design
That
and
was my
everything else.
grandfather. My mother's father. So my great grandfather inherited the land, and it was farm. So they farm. My granddad was a farm as a kid. My farmer. He
Okay.
was a farmer's son, but he didn't like farming. He wanted to be a carpenter. So when his dad, my great granddad died, my granddaddy is the one. Like so, if you stand on any place in Haynesville, as far as you can look, my granddaddy built everything you can see.
Mm,
Mm.
okay.
Every house, every structure. Like I used to stand on my front porch and be like, as far as I could see, we built that. You know what I mean? Like
Dope
that.
shit.
Major.
It was
Yes.
different. You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
I tell people all the time, like when I grew up, everybody on my block, I knew I done ate out of every pot on my block.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Right.
You know,
Right.
so it was
Right.
different. But then I go to New York and go and see my people, and they live in apartments. And even though they on top of one another, they are very apart because you don't even know the nigga that live next door. You know what I'm
How
saying?
often was you traveling back and forth to New York? And
Every time we get out of school, my nigga, I'm on something smoking. First thing
right.
smoking. Train,
Right.
plane, automobile, don't matter. Somebody taking me the fuck up out of here.
So let me ask you a question. So you making a trip back and forth to the city, and we know New York was let's just say the mecca of hip hop. You know what I mean? Um, what was your first connection to the music?
My first connection to the music was
I'm talking about the very first joint. Like you, like man, yo, what is this? I'm rocking with this. You know what I'm saying?
you
You
mean
know,
hip hop or just
hip
music in
just
general?
just
Because you know I've been a musician since I was 7, bro.
just take me from there. Take me from there. Take me from there. Take me from there. Then take me to that very first hip hop.
From day one, I've been a fiend for the drum, playing
Mhm,
pots and pans till my
mhm.
hands went numb. Dream
Mm,
drum sets and the beats I will play when they come. Then that hip hop bug bit me. The 1 2s, the wiki, the snare pop, the bass drop, the hi hats taken. The first time I heard Y rhyme, shout out to Yoruba, it got my
mhm.
mind to clicking. No holding back now.
Shout out
No,
Yoruba.
no bullshitting. Freestyles
Mm,
I started spitting, then my flow got tighter. Then the next thing you know, Dubb Slimm's a dope writer. So like that shit was. I've been playing music since a kid. Like I really had beats and grooves and like 4 bar grooves, 8 bar grooves. I could hold a groove since I can remember, bro. Like literally. But my father um was a gigging musician up until the day of his death. You know what I mean? Like
mm,
nigga
mm.
died with gigs that he had on the schedule. I got his calendar. It was still he had a couple of dates coming up.
Wow.
So like he was a blues musician, the blues man. When he passed, they wrote Yahoo Music wrote an article about my dad. You know what I mean?
Mm,
So it's like um I met Donnie Simpson from Video Soul with
mm,
my dad when my dad shot a video in the early 80s. We was trying to get it on Video Soul. So like being in the industry and seeing shit. I remember when I was little thinking that I didn't understand what records were because I had only seen live music being played. Because like I said, my dad was in a band, he was a gigging musician. So I didn't understand that a record. So or the radio, I thought that the band was at the radio station. I just assumed that it was a band up there playing music because I didn't know that you could play it on a record at this time. And so we was listening to somebody on the radio, and then I was like, well, I wonder how they switch out the instruments so fast. And my dad just thought that was the funniest shit in the world. He was like, no, son, they play records. And that's when I learned what records was, and we went out and bought a record player, and I got to pick some records. And so I was like 8 or 9 years old at that time, but I had already been playing music. I started playing drums at about 7. My first gig was at 10 in a bar, some dive bar in New York. It was the summertime, and the drummer for my dad's band had gotten sick or whatever, couldn't make it. And I had been playing in the church since like 7, 8 years old. And it was like, hey, my son could play, so not even supposed to be in the bar. On breaks, I'm over there playing the pinball machine, drinking milkshakes. But yeah, that's what it was. So music has been in me since the beginning. I can't
right.
remember a time I wasn't making music.
Right. So with you going back and forth to New York, and let's go to the hip hop. What was that hip hop song? What was that bug that bit you and said, man, I'm fucking with this music right here. This something different right here.
Um, I heard all of hip hop, right?
Hmm.
But I didn't think it was something that I could do until I heard Special Ed. I got it.
Mm.
When I heard Special Ed, I was like, yo, hold up. Because before that, it was grown people. It was like Run DMC and
Right.
like I didn't realize that LL was as young as he was when he came out, but he was in his teens, early teens when he first came out. I Need a Beat and my radio and that type of shit.
Hmm.
But like Curtis Blow used to live in my uncle building, so
Mm. Dope shit.
I used to see Curtis Blow. I used to see um KRS One of them because my dad lived in the Bronx. Well, my stepmom was from the Bronx, so my dad was over there, and I would see KRS One and them, and well, Boogie Down Production. I would see BDP. They had a whole
Mm.
crew, so I would
Mm.
see the movement, and the movement was more b-boy and like it was this when I first was introduced to hip hop, it wasn't they had nobody had a record deal yet. It was still in
Mhm.
the clubs and like on in a park on a party or in like the community center they have a jam and then the MC would the DJ would play a break and he'd have two records with the same break beat, and he'd just keep that break going for a few minutes, and then it would be call and response over. So like I actually was at a party with Cool Herc, you know what I mean?
Oh shit! What year was
Not
this?
knowing what the fuck this was though, you
Right,
know what I
right,
mean? I had
right.
no, we was just doing what the fuck was up. So there, that's what's going
So
on.
what about what year was this, Dub?
83, 84. I was
Mm,
like 10
mm,
years old. Yeah.
dope, dope. Mm,
I remember because it was, like that rite of passage when you get to double digit ages.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm 10 now, nigga. I'm a big boy. You know what I mean?
Right,
So it's like
right.
I could do some shit once I got to double digits. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm,
So I was going hanging out with my older cousins and catching the train, going over there to go to Sedgwick, and just being in the swing of hip hop. Like I tell people, I grew up with hip hop. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember what it was that made me like hip hop because it's been in me the whole time. Now I know different parts of hip hop. Like when my mind blowing hip hop moment, I was in high school, and it was when I discovered NWA. You know what I mean? And before this, we got Public Enemy, Poor Righteous Teachers, Native Tongues. You know what I mean? Like all of the whole conscious pro black movement of music. And my dad's a practicing Muslim at the time, so I got that influence. Actually, he was Nation of Islam, so he NOI was a marching member of the Fruit of Islam, so he higher upper echelon. You know what I mean? Like he in the
He
rank.
played no, yeah. He didn't play no games
He
neither.
not playing no games. You know what I
Right,
mean? So
right,
a very
right.
militant Islamic paternal side, African Methodist Episcopalian, Moncks Corner AME, mama side.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just torn between the two. Don't know what the fuck, and
Right.
it's just different, you know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
growing up, and then it was like fuck the police. What?
Mm-hmm.
Like niggas with an attitude. Yeah, I'm mad too. I got an attitude. I'm a nigga with an attitude. You know what
Right,
I mean? So it's
right,
like, yeah,
right.
so like I went immediately and got me some Raider shit. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Immediately, my nigga. Mm, got me a goddamn toboggan on and a goddamn Raider starter jacket, bitch. I need it. I already had a Jerry curl. My mom was a beautician. I had a Jerry curl already. Like, what the
Right,
fuck?
right,
So,
right.
but Ice Cube is like my favorite all-time West Coast artist. Like if
Mm-hmm.
you like NWA, you gotta like Ice Cube. He wrote all the rhymes. Easy E even says one time, Ice Cube writes the rhymes
Right.
that I say,
That I
get a
say. Right.
dope beat from Dr. Dre.
That's
He
right.
gave you his formula. So
He told you. He told you. So during this time, Dub. Now I know, like I said, I know you super producer, Dub. I know what you're doing. But at this time, were you interested in the rap side of the things, or were you more interested in making the beats? What side of
no,
the game
no,
were
no, 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 no. Don't get it wrong. I was rapper, right? I wanted
you?
to be a rapper bad. You
Mhm.
couldn't tell me I wasn't going to be a rapper.
Right, right,
So, like, and I can still rap to this day. Like, I could probably rap circles around most motherfuckers that still rap.
right, right. I know
Um,
you could.
that's my decision to become a producer became because I started. I was um I was doing grown people shit and
Hmm.
started procreating. Right.
Right,
So after you got these paternal responsibilities, I ain't never been a deadbeat dad. You know me my whole life. Like I've
right.
always been an active father.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Um, Whether or not I'm a custodial parent, I don't give a fuck. I'm pulling up. I'm checking on my babies. We
Hmm.
gonna, you know what I mean? Like it ain't.
That's right.
I never. Just that's just who I am. I come
Hmm.
from that type of family.
Yes, sir.
So, um, when I had kids, like when I had when I had the studio in Haynesville, I'm married with kids. I got three kids in the house,
Hmm.
but I want to be a rapper. But this is taking money out of my household. Every
Right.
time I go, it's causing problems in my relationship because now I'm trying to do this, do that, do that. Now you got to realize I'm working because my grandfather. Uh, it's just a crazy life story, right? Because my granddad, I'm working over here, I'm making like $7 an hour, right? This nigga like stick with me, I'll make you a millionaire by the time you're 30. But I'm getting 280, maybe $300 a week.
Right.
I
Right.
can go down here outside my front door and make $1,500 tonight.
Talk
Fuck
about
you
it.
mean? You know what
Hmm.
I mean? So it
Right.
was like I'm doing all kind of shit. I ain't never really have time because I'm working, I'm getting off, I'm trapping.
Right.
Then I gotta go to the studio. So then I gotta pay somebody to go. You know what I mean? Back then it wasn't just like, oh, just buy a computer and a program. Nah, my nigga, you needed an ADAT, and you know what I mean. It was or a reel to reel. It was just a whole bunch to get into a studio. We didn't have a lot of studio options available here locally, so it was a decision to like, how can I maintain my love and do what I love, but create an income? How can I monetize my situation? So I had already been dabbling with production and shit. My mom had remarried to Askew from Mount Pleasant, and she married Julius Askew, the guy that does hardwood floors. So one brother got a body shop, and the other brother do hardwood floors. My mom married the hardwood floors dude. So now I got a stepbrother. My older brother Rodney Askew, he was a DJ at the time. So he comes, when our parents married, now we moved together. So he moved in with us for about 3 years. He's there, and he brought some Technique 12s and MPC 60. It had Roger Lynn, a signature edition on it, MPC 60. This was before the MPC 2000. So he would never let me fuck with it. Like I said, I was little, I was younger, little bro. And he was like 11th grade. He was 10th, 11th, and 12th here. And this is back when high school students used to drive the bus, because I used to drive the bus from Berkeley and park it in Haynesville, and then get up in the morning and go pick the kids up and then go to school. That shit was crazy, and got paid. That's how old I am. But that that relationship died. So he moved back to New York with his mom, but they sent him on a plane, so he couldn't take his DJ equipment and his beat machine. So he gifted it to little bro. So I became the owner of a pair of Techniques and a beat machine. So I
Oh,
didn't know what the fuck I was doing with it, and we don't got YouTube at this time. You feel what I'm
right.
saying?
Right.
Everything's trial and error. You got to just figure it the fuck out, or know somebody who knows somebody. So um, started figuring it, but I couldn't really figure out the MPC, and I didn't have an owner's manual. I tried to get it, but I couldn't get that to save my life. Fast forward to Angel Fret Shackachak. Angel told me how to work the MPC, and when I learned how to work the MPC, I convinced my mom to buy me a Triton. And I was like, yo, mom. And you got to realize, I'm not a kid no more. I'm grown with a family. You know what I mean? I'm like, mom, if you buy me this keyboard, it's like $2,700. I'm like, yo, if
Mhm.
you
I
give
remember
me this
that track.
keyboard, if you give me this keyboard, I could pay my bills.
Mhm.
She was like, it was kind of hard, but because she was married to my father for a while, she understood a gigging musician, so she knew that I could use this as a tool to make money, just like a nigga could buy a drill and a fucking saw and go and make some bread. I can. This is an investment, you know what I mean? So, salute my mom. My first computer that I used was an old computer that how your mama have shit because they be buying up shit. Computers came out. Yo, we need a computer, mama. You don't even type. You know what I mean? But
Right.
we got a
Right.
computer in the house, so this motherfucking computer been in the house forever. I'm like, man, what you doing on that computer? Oh yeah, I'm gonna take it to my house because I'm was try to use this whatever. Yeah, I'm going ahead. Woo, take that on up out of there. You know what I mean? So like
Right.
all that shit was patchwork. You know what I mean? It's like,
Right.
yeah, got a computer over here. I got a computer from my mama. I got Cakewalk from DJ Slice,
Good.
Bernard Eady.
Shout
Yeah,
out Slice.
shout out to 1.5 Productions.
Mhm.
He gave me FL. It was Fruity Loops 3.5 and Cakewalk. Yeah,
Mm.
that I took that my Triton and my MPC, and I shit started a business. You know what I mean? Like word. Started making real legit bread. And my first beat tape I was selling. I remember when I was selling them, my price point was $25. You get 10 beats on the tape for
Mhm.
$25. I was like, well, if you could do, cause like it was the crack era, so it was like, well, shit, these niggas selling 20s. So if I ask for $25, average nigga gonna be like, I need 20, I got 20. You know what I mean? So I'd be
Right.
like, I really only wanted 20. So
Mhm.
it was the psychology of marketing to be like, yo, 25. So a nigga gonna try to Jew you down and say, I got 20. All right, cool, give me the 20. You know what I mean? So
Right. Right.
it's the
And
psychology
how
of
and how
marketing.
many beats was on the tape for the 20 25?
$10.
And
Oh,
I mean,
10
10 beats. 10 beats
10
for
and
beats.
$25.
Oh, yeah, whatever. You can't beat that.
Yeah,
Shoot, you know what I
can't
mean?
beat that. You know what I mean?
Right,
So
right,
like,
right,
but
right,
I mean, we talking like early '90s, bro.
right,
You know
right,
what I mean?
right.
Like this is way back. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like
So during this time, now that you got the computer, you got everything hooked up, are you trying to make an album for yourself? Are you in there trying to work on some
where
music?
we was working. I worked on an album for myself.
Mhm.
And then and working on music for myself, I'm in the lab cooking up. Like this time, nobody know what I'm doing, right?
Right,
So
right.
I'm like, I'm letting the homies hear, like, yo, hey, check this
Mad
out.
scientist type shit.
Yeah, I did this last night. Check this out. Where the fuck you did this at? Like, yo, I put a studio behind my house. You ain't got no fuck studio. I'm like, yes, I do, bro. So when they come in, nigga, this ain't no studio. I was like, well, you hear this fucking music, right? So mind you, the studio is the hot water heater closet to my home. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Where you
right,
put your lawnmower and shit in the back there. You know what I mean? I just cleaned all that shit out and
right.
put a desk back there, put me a
OG
fucking
shit.
speakers in there. You know what I mean? A mic
Yeah.
stand and put a
Mhm.
blanket up and just hang some shit. Like it wasn't even no sheetrock on the wall. You can see the studs and all that shit. But
Right, right.
I got a deal out of that little room. You know what I mean? So like I was
Mhm.
able to cook up and just follow my dreams, man. And like I said, I was born into a family that was supportive of the entrepreneurial spirit. I was never told to, hey, my nigga, go get a real job. You know what I mean? Like think of something because this ain't gonna be like what my mom was like, figure it out. If that's what
Right.
you want to do, figure it out. My granddad told me, hey, if you can find something you love to do and figure out a way to get paid for it, you'll never work a day in your life. So
That's right. That's
that
right.
was my mission.
That's right. All right. So now you in there, you cooking up. I mean, you got the lab rolling, you know what I'm saying? At what point did you say, well, let me get these guys, get my people together, let me try to put together an actual a group or a label to try to make something. This before the deal, all of that, just the beginning stages. Tell
You
us
want
about
the honesty, or you want the podcast
I,
ready
I
answer?
want the honesty. You know, we real
My
fast,
lazy
no cap.
pen. My lazy pen. I needed niggas to help me finish songs.
Mm,
It's like,
mm,
y'all can get this nigga on this song. Get it. Then I convinced niggas to be a group. I'm like, yo, you can do this, and
mm-hmm,
you got this part, and you the swag. And I was like, yo, you know this, blah. So it was just kind of like Geppetto, behind the scenes
right,
and
right.
identifying strength. It's like just good people management skills, identifying strengths and talents and people and plugging people in the right position, just like coaching. You know what I mean?
Who were some of the first people that you had?
Some of the first people that I had, the first group was group Ghetto Union. Right, it was
Mhm,
myself. God rested dead. My brother Gary Payne, call him Major Payne G,
mhm,
and the O. So OSB was Ish at the time. He was just
right.
little rapping ass
Shout
nigga,
out O. Mhm.
huh?
I say shout out O.
Yeah, shout out O, the original man. So like, and then that was my first group, Ghetto Union, right? So boom, as Ghetto Union's doing this thing and we getting some traction and we doing some shows and shit. um, my hood starts like, hey, we could do this too. Cause now Master P done came out. And he done came out with the ghetto dope. He done showed these niggas that you could take the trapper rapper to the rapper, right? So all my
Right,
little crack selling homies, they want to be rappers now. He's like, hey nigga, you got the studio, we can do this. Hey man, boom, 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 boom. You know what I mean?
mhm,
So
mhm,
they know how to talk shit. We all talk slick. We all did it. So I was like, all right, cool, let's do it. So that led to the creation of um, HVCF, Haynesville Crime Family,
mhm.
which was like, I guess, our which predates BMF, by the way, which
Have,
would
have,
be
have
like,
I see you rolling your eyes. Have you must be remember that HVCF?
No, I'm trying to think of where I seen that at because it sounds familiar.
It was all over. They used to have it all
Yeah,
over.
to
Mhm.
see that somewhere because I'm thinking in my head. I remember the acronym. You see what I'm
Yep.
saying?
yeah,
Mhm, mhm.
HBCF. There's a lot of us that got that tattoo.
Yep.
Actually, if you get arrested in Berkeley County, they're gonna call you a member of a gang if they see that tattoo. Thanks to us.
I know I done
Right,
seen it
right.
somewhere.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, you
Yeah.
have. Yeah, you
Yeah.
have.
Look,
Right.
I got it tatted on my arm right there, HBCF. A lot of us got it,
All right.
but
Mhm,
yeah, that was the name of the group, Haynesville Crime Family. We released 2 studio projects.
mhm,
The last ones left because at the time a lot of our OGs was catching fed bids. You know what I'm saying? They was sweeping most corner real hard at the time. So
mhm.
the guys that were on the street at the time, you know, we were calling ourselves the Last Ones Left, Volume 1 and Volume 2. So that was myself, Tone, Montana Stacks from Haynesville, Psych, his brother, another producer heavy on the beats. Who
Shout
else?
out to on site.
Haas, and it was Hertz. Mega Hertz was his rap name, and then Shy Money. Who else was it?
Sharif.
Trust. Yeah, Shy Money is Sharif. We got Trust. That's Trav. It was like we had like a super Wu Tang of Most Corner rap at that time. You know what I mean? We had styles. We had different people. We had different things.
Highway.
Yeah, no, Highway wasn't a part of HBCF.
Okay, that's early. That's right. That's
Highway
right.
is a part of Monkey Fist.
Monkey Fist. Yeah, we ain't got to that yet.
Yeah, we ain't got to that yet. Right, I'm saying? So boom. So that was those two albums came, and then we got the HBCF got all the way to Dallas, Texas. That album, right? So I get a phone call. We in the little water heater studio one night. You know, smoking reefer, drinking.
Now, before you get to that, how did the CD get to Dallas, Texas? Were y'all traveling with it? How did it?
No, I was giving them out. So I was buying 100 spindle. You know what I mean? The little 100 spindles.
Right. Yeah, I remember
had
that.
another computer that I had bought with a dual burn on it, and that was just my burning computer. Like I didn't know at the time that you could buy a replicator that could duplicate like 5 or whatever. I just thought you had to buy a bunch of computers. So you know what I mean? I was like, buy me another computer just to burn CDs. You know what I mean? So I had to do a burn on that shit, and I was just burning CDs. So like I would buy 100 and spend all night just burning them shit and write on them. You know what I mean? With a Sharpie. And I would try to be as detailed as I could. Like I didn't want to be sloppy, so I would be like, you know, H, B, C, F, and try to make each one look the same. And I would put my number on it. But mind you, this is like before cell phone popularity. You know what I mean? It was like free nights and weekends type shit. You know what I mean? Nigga wasn't on the phone all the time. They call me back after 7, bitch.
Right after 9, shit.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So like, yeah, that type of shit. You know what I mean? So like I'm putting my house phone number on the CDs. You know what I mean? But I got a wireless phone, so I have the wireless phone with me in the studio. And these niggas, so I gave the CD to my cousin who was a truck driver, and he was pumping it at a truck stop, and one of the other trucks was like, yo, that's hard. I need my people to hear this. They looking for artists or whatever. I could get them a deal. So he called me.
Was your cousin from Most Corner?
Yeah, from Most Corner. He drive a truck.
Okay.
And Jay Black.
Shout out Jay Black. Shout out Jay Black. Rest in peace, Jay Black.
And no, Jay Black not dead. Just Jason Jones.
That ain't the same Jay Black.
No, you talking about the other Jay Black.
Right.
Jay Black is dead. I know you talking about, but yeah, rest in peace to that Jay Black.
Right.
But Jason Jones, he not dead. We can't kill people.
Right now.
Like, yeah. You know what I mean? You can't unalive this man. You know what I mean? Like,
shout out Jason Jones.
The man just like one of my stories like 2 days ago.
Right.
I can't kill a nigga.
We're glad you did that, Jay Black. Shout out to you, man. More life.
So Jay Black gives man the CD, and then he gives it to the next man, and these guys got some shit going on in Dallas. So they call us in the studio like, yo, I'm looking for Dubb Slimm. I'm like, yeah, what's up? He's like, yeah, this such and such a grip of records, you know what I'm saying? When goddamn, you know, I heard the music, you know what I mean? I'm trying to see if y'all boy offer y'all a deal, man, bring y'all out to Dallas. Right. I was like, man, quit fucking playing. Ploop. Hung up the phone, you know what I mean? Got back, hey, pass the blunt, nigga. Ooh, ooh, you know what I mean? So the phone rings again. Hello? Yeah, man, I think maybe I had a bad connection or something, man. I think we got disconnected. I was like, no, I hung up. I'm playing on my fucking phone. You know what I mean? He's like, no, man, it's no joke, man. It's your boy World Fame. I'm like, World Fame, nigga, you don't even got a real name.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, World, come on, bro. Like World Fame. He's like, no, for real. Like, yo, what's up, bro? You know what I'm saying? Whoop, 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 blah, 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 blah. So I'm like, all right, cool. So he was like, what's your travel schedule? Like, what's your schedule? Like, can you come out? She was like, yeah. I was like, all right, fuck it. I'll call the guys. I'm like, yo, they want us to come. So everybody couldn't make it because of life.
Right.
They like, yo, y'all ain't got to pay for nothing. I'm sending y'all the tickets. I need y'all next. So a couple of niggas didn't want to go because you got to give your real name to get on the plane. You know what I'm saying? You got to give these niggas your name to get a plane ticket. That eliminates like 3 niggas. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. They got warrants, nigga on the run, this nigga, you know what I mean? But man, I'm on bond right now, nigga. You know what I mean? I'm ducking the Fed. So 3 niggas
Hey,
can't
that
go.
was that was pre 9/11. They might have could have slipped on though. You know what I'm
But
saying?
you got to give your name to
Oh,
get the
right,
ticket because
right,
we not
right,
buying the tickets.
right.
They
Oh,
got
okay,
to put the ticket in your name, and you got to have the name, got to match your ID. So when you get
right.
there, you can get the ticket and get on the plane.
Get on the plane. Right,
You see
right.
what I'm saying? All right. So don't nobody end up going, but me, Montana, and Highway.
Mm-hmm.
Highway goes because Highway like Highway is a client at the time. He has his own thing going on, but he don't want to be with Monkey Fist, right?
Mm.
No, he don't want to be with HBCF
Okay,
because he not from Haynesville, right?
okay.
He from the projects.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, that's cool. And he got his own thing going where he got kind of like a little roster, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I got my own thing going.
All
So
right.
he don't really need me. They just need a studio and an engineer and a producer. So I'm like, okay, cool. Again, I'm in this for business. You know what I
Right.
mean? That's my business model.
Mm-hmm.
So cool. Now I get this opportunity and I'm like, yo, man's trying to sign. So Howard like, well shit, I can go. So I'm like, all right, cool. You going, you going, you going. Boom. So we decide to go.
Mm-hmm.
We get over there. Bam. They like us. We get there. Okay. We meet these guys, the young aliens, right? So they
Mm.
the producers. So they team me up with the young aliens. It's a guy named Ja Bourne on the team. Now, unbeknownst to me, this is the same Ja Bourne that Erica Badu would later give props to.
Oh shit. Word.
Got to give props to the guy Ja Bourne. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know that the
Mm-hmm.
Erica White that I meet in a studio session while we out there in Dallas is Erica Badu because she wasn't Badu when I met her.
Oh
That's a
wow.
that's a performance name, and
Mm-hmm.
Baduism is a whole a movement that she
Well,
embodied as a part of her artistry.
yes, sir. Yes,
And
sir.
so I
Mhm.
met Erica White,
Mm-hmm.
wife beater and jeans, sandals, thong sandals, about 17 candles in a fucking book bag, like a low, like one of them book bag, not like a backpack, but a book like a girl book bag when they
Right.
have arm
The
strap.
tote bag type
The
shit.
tote
Right.
bag,
Right.
yeah, like a big canvas sack, bitch got like 17 candles in this long one, them Santa Maria candles, the big long cylinder
Right.
ones. She got about 5 of them, some little ones, all kind of fucking candles, right?
Mm.
Bitch come with candles, incense, lights all this shit up. And we start going through some beats and shit. Now I saying we like it was my session, but I was just there as like if you had a session at Pitch Black Dynamite and
Mm-hmm.
I just happened to be there, you're not
Right.
gonna kick me out
No,
because
no.
you got a client coming through
Right. Right.
because I'm a producer and engineer also.
That's right.
So
Right.
you're like, hey client,
Mm-hmm.
your lucky day.
Mm-hmm.
I got
Mm-hmm.
my big homie here, and he's a
He got
fucking
some stuff
producing
for them.
genius,
Right.
and I'm a producing genius. So you're gonna have a dope session. Same
Mm-hmm.
kind of vibe. Like, hey, this dude's producing. He's from out here from Carolina. Whoop whoop bam bam. So we meet in passing. Not she's nobody, I'm nobody. Blah blah blah. And make some beats, make a song. We record a song. We make some beats. Me and the aliens go in there and make some beats.
Mm.
Tone and them is in there talking with Baz and Fame. So they in there, boom, they chopping it up. So after we done cooked up about 5 beats, they come in the studio. They're like, yo, what y'all got going on? So we start playing beats. They hear one beat, they just go crazy. That's the Texas, the Carolina that became one of our biggest songs as because at that moment we formed a group that day called the Gamecocks, right? So
Mm-hmm.
that was me,
Mm.
Tana, and Highway were the Gamecocks because trying to explain to the Grifter Records team of what we had going on as far as what was the group and who they were going to sign. It was like, well, what's up with y'all? Because we like y'all energy. We like what y'all got going on. So our idea was, well, we'll get the bag, establish the thing, boom, 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 and then
Bring
we
everybody else
bring
on.
bring everybody else home. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right. Right. Right.
Man,
That's the name of that Grifter Records. That's the name of
Grifter
the.
Records is a label out of Dallas. They was doing their thing, like they was like major label, major independent at the time.
Okay.
So
Okay.
like wrapped vans, wrapped cars,
Mm-hmm.
billboards in the city.
Mm.
Okay, so like again, we go to the studio.
Mm-hmm.
The studio is a 4-bedroom house that they've converted into a studio. And the studio was designed by Wes Lashot, who designed Bobby and Whitney's home studio. Like
Oh, dope.
it's like a $500,000 studio they got. that they turned a $300,000 home into a $500,000 studio.
So
Like
you
every
walked in there like
room,
you looking like what
yeah,
this is
like when you
crazy.
go in the living room, it's a fucking 48 track board. You know,
Mm,
all this. They got Mac computers, and then like the master bedroom don't have a door. It's got a fucking patio sliding. It's got two patio sliding glass doors to make a door, an airlock. You know what I mean? To have two doors. So you slide one this way, slide one that way, and you come in, and then that whole room is the live room. The whole master bedroom is a live room. You got one side for tracking. If you want to put a whole band in there, then the master bathroom is a reverb chamber specifically built for just recording with reverb, and then like depending on where you put the mic at, you can get different effects. It was just like mind blowing, bro. One of the bedrooms was just a video editing suite. One bedroom, well, two bedrooms were actually pre-production suites, one just beat making and just going in there and vibing out and doing dumb shit. And then a media room where they could do all kind of whatever presentations you may have needed. So it was all a hub, just an all in one. And it just kind of like blew my mind because we make a beat, record a song. They're like, yo, this shit hard. Get this ready. Boom. So I put a little rough mix on it, and my man, I forget his name, but it was forget the dude's name. He was one part of the Young Aliens. But this nigga was a really, 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 really proficient mixing engineer, man. This motherfucker put a brief master on that bitch. That shit was sounding so good, right? And we go immediately from the studio to the radio station, bro. We go from the radio station, like they play the shit on the station. Like we go to the equivalent of Z93. This wasn't just like internet, because it's not the internet yet. You know what I mean? Like this is on air FM radio. They like, yo, we got Grip the Regulars in here. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We about to do this. We do a takeover on the radio, on air. They interview us. They play the song about 3 times with an intro, run it back. You know what I mean? Like real big up, and then announce, yeah, we're gonna be at Club GG's tonight. Now this is like the equivalent of going to Magic City or whatever. You know what I mean?
all of this in one. This is like a whole rush
One
all
day,
in one.
bro, we woke
Wow.
up. They come to the hotel, pick us up. Yeah, we going to the
Mm,
studio. We get to the studio, which I think is somebody's house, but then it's
right.
fucking media mansion. And then
Mm,
I'm like, whoa, this shit can't get any better. You know what I mean?
right.
Then we go
Right.
shoot the video the next morning. You know what I mean? Like
Mm,
you remember, we came back with a video and shit. It's
yep.
like, yo,
That's right. That's right.
it was
That's right.
on
On
VHS
the
tape,
VHS
nigga.
tape. On the
Hey, nigga,
VHS.
everybody come to the house, bro. We about to
Right.
drop this video,
We was
cuz.
piled up in the living room like this.
It
Have
was no
everybody watching
YouTube, bitch.
shit.
You know what I mean? Like,
No
yo, my nigga,
YouTube.
I'm about
No,
to
fuck
play this.
that.
Hey,
No,
run it
no.
back. Hold up. Be
Mm-mm.
quiet, bro.
If you
Be
wanted to see
quiet.
that shit, you had to go to Dubb House. There wasn't no YouTube.
Type shit. So,
Hmm. Hmm.
um, that, you know what I mean? So that was my
Right.
first experience with like, oh shit, these niggas is official. You know what I mean?
So
Like,
so 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 with them doing all of this, what was the offer on the table? What kind of bread was they talking for y'all?
okay, so they wanted 200. It was a $250,000 one album deal. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
So, which at the time was dumb money.
right,
You know,
right,
250K
yeah, right. Still
for
a nice,
rapping,
still a
nigga.
piece of shit. Still a nice piece.
Mind you, you have to be mindful that I'm my studio is the hot water heater closet,
Yeah, right, right. Hmm.
and I done went from passing out beat CDs to passing out our CDs with we've recorded music on till we done went to Black Bike Week that year, and I'm hearing cars that I don't even know these cars with out of town tags playing our CD, bro. Shit
Right.
blew my mind. It's like, oh
Hmm.
shit, niggas is bumping and singing the music. I'm
Right.
like, oh shit, we might really be able to do this. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
that was an eye-opening moment. So then it's like, oh shit. All right, so now we get heard outside of home and they like it. I was like, okay, cool. Another stamp, another little bit of, verification that yeah, you're on the right path. All right, cool. So now I got some legal issues at the time, right?
Hmm.
When this deal is on the table. So they like, yo, we need y'all to get everything straight. You know what I mean? Whoop de whoop. Anybody got anything? I'm like, yeah, I'm actually on probation right now. I'm just like fucking on the run. You know what I mean? Whoop, whoop, whoop. So he was like, all right, well, you get you straight with that. Of course, me. Well, um, I probably need a lawyer, be the way to get the best deal, and I get that shit behind me. I ain't trying to go do no time. It ain't really nothing, just a little violation.
You just got this money, you know
I
what I'm
got the
saying?
violation, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
But the
right.
money ain't here yet. The money
Mhm.
is contingent. They want to offer us this deal.
Okay,
They're like,
okay,
get your shit in order and a
okay.
deal on the table. We
This is
got you.
on your mind while you still down there. You thinking about all this shit while you in Dallas. Okay.
Right. So I'm like, yo, I'm telling the team, yo, I got this fucking probation shit, bro. And I don't want to get on and be blowing up and now I got to go do a bid. You feel what
Right.
I'm saying? Let me
Mhm,
go get this shit out the way and then we go on. You feel what I'm saying?
mhm, mhm.
Bam. I got a probation violation. I ain't got but 2 years left on the probation. So the max I could get is 2 years. You see what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
Boom.
Right.
And it's a non-violent charge. So I ain't gonna do 85%. I'm gonna do like 50 something percent. And we
Mhm,
good. You know what I
mhm.
mean? Like 51%. So I ain't even tripping on the tripping. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just a little time, a little sit down, a little scared bit,
Just
ain't
the
like a
point that
nigga
you're gonna be
facing life.
gone for a little
It's
minute.
just it's just
Right.
a little
Mhm. Right. Right.
boom. So now, mind you, these niggas over there is woman and whamming. You know what I mean? It's
Mhm.
going on. I don't want to incriminate nobody, but it was going on. You know what I mean?
Right.
They
Mhm,
was doing a lot of things that was moving a lot of stuff.
mhm, mhm.
So they was like, all right. In the meantime, in between time, what y'all trying to do? Y'all trying to work on the music? Y'all trying to get this work? So my team chose to get to work. By the time I come back from doing my bid, now mind you, they gave me some bread to get some lawyers and to
Mhm,
get some shit established on this side. You know what I'm saying?
mhm.
So I had a $25,000 budget for marketing and promotion to generate enough buzz so that when we start releasing, shit go good. So my thought was we'll start holding events presented by Grifter Records in collaboration with Monkey Fist. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Productions. Boom, boom, boom.
Where'd you get the name? Just to pause before not to cut you off. Where did you get the name Monkey Fist? What made you come up with that? As
Well,
far as
Monkey Fist comes from the fact that they call, we call it lovingly, we call Monk's Corner the monkey, you
hmm
know, and the monkey's fist, you know, an ode to the black fist,
right, right.
symbolizing power. The
hmm
monkey fist style of kung fu, for those that don't know, I'm a big kung fu head, practiced kung fu for several years of my life, love kung fu movies. So monkey fist being a style, and the monkey's fist is just symbolic of something tight.
Right,
We
right,
had a tight
right.
sight. I thought I was one of the tightest producers. You know what I'm saying? My shit was tight. It was tight
hmm
like a monkey's fist. You know what I mean? So if
hmm
the monkey don't have a tight grip, if he lose that grip, then he fall. You
hmm
know, that was my analogy was my shit tight like Monkey Fist. It was Monkey Fist Records. It was Monkey Fist Productions, and
Right.
then that became Monkey Fist Records. So
So at Grifter at this time, so they're involved with criminal activity as well as doing the music. They got other shit they going in the background too.
they trying to use the music to get out of the blueprint, the classic hood blueprint. You know what I mean?
Right,
We done ran
right,
up this bread. We're gonna use this, the music. We rappers. That's why we got a lot
mhm,
of money.
right, right. Okay. And while you gone, they didn't convince the guys. They didn't tell her you fuck with the music or y'all gonna go on this side of the game. They chose
So
the other
they
side.
kind of like, you remember, again, I'm a kung fu head, so
hmm
the sword or the ball, which one
Right.
you want? You
hmm
know, I
hmm
put it before you. Hey, you can go here, or you can get this. What you
hmm
want?
hmm
And you got, and but you really got people that desire to be hustlers. You know what I mean?
Right.
Nothing wrong with that. You
hmm
know what I mean? But just like you got some niggas that want to be a rapper, you got
Right.
like some niggas just want to, like, boy, I do anything for a record deal.
Mm.
You got nigga be like, boy, I do anything for a plug.
Right. Right. And
You know,
it
that's your
is.
dream, that's your vision. It's nothing. It is something wrong with that, but it's nothing wrong
Right.
with that. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like,
Right.
well, and I take that back. It's nothing wrong with that. There's
Mhm.
something illegal with that, but it's
Yes.
not
Yes.
wrong. Like I was telling my girl the other day, right and legal don't always coincide.
That's right. That's right.
If I catch a nigga fucking my daughter, right,
Mhm.
and she 9 and he's 39,
Mhm.
and I blow his fucking brains out, I'm right
Mhm.
as fuck for that,
That's
but
right.
it's
That's right.
illegal.
It's legal. You're right. It's that's a great point. That's a great point. That's a
Everything
great
that's
point.
right ain't legal, and everything that's legal ain't right. You feel what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
Hmm. Hmm.
It's legal for them to unalive an unarmed black man. They don't go to jail for that shit, but that
That's
don't
right.
make it right.
That'll make it right. Right. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. That's a great point that you made. So during this, so y'all done went through all of this. You done caught this lick. Jay Blackton took the CD, floated on the truck. Somebody got a hold of it. They called you. Now this rarely happens now.
Right.
Somebody called you, y'all got the deal. You came down there, all of this stuff that happened in one day. Y'all done got the interview, y'all done went to the stew. You know what I'm saying? They didn't even got the club appearance set up, you know what I'm saying? Y'all got the paperwork, everything good. So and you get in this trouble and you leave. And at this point, they decide they want to go to the other side of the game. Now, how you feeling when you behind the wall, and you hearing that instead of working or building the empire, they
I'm
doing
upset
something
at first, right?
else? Hmm.
But I can't be upset
Hmm.
because they have no head.
Right. Okay.
They have no
Gotcha.
producer. They have no
Mhm.
engineer. They have no studio. They have no manager. They have all of that. I
But
wore a
Griff,
lot of
but Griff
hats.
ain't do the label not trying to help them do this. What? Even though they giving them this work, they just saying, "Fuck it." Well, we just not gonna give y'all no
Oh no,
no
no, because
income.
that was on that part. The deal,
Mm,
moving as a record label was on hold until I got out.
got you.
I'm
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
I'm the head of Voltron.
And the people Grifter understood that you were down, and they understood how
Right.
that went.
It was the part like, hey, look, we're not
Right.
gonna give you all this money if you
Right.
got some shit going on, because they know if they come and snatch you in the
Hmm.
middle of the deal,
Right. Yeah.
handle that, get that out the way,
Hmm.
and then we can move forward.
Right. Hmm.
In the interim, niggas just supposed to, hey, y'all lay low, keep a buzz going, keep you by, you know what I mean? Just keep
Hmm.
shit going. I gotta go for 14 months, bro.
Right. Right.
I'm not going to do 14 years.
Hmm. But in the scheme of things, that's a long time dealing with no head leaving the team by themselves. You know what I'm saying?
And we didn't have a plan. Like we
Right.
didn't have like we just was going with like this shit was just happening, bro. Like this is
Right.
everyday life. It wasn't like, yo, we gonna send these demos out and then and da, da, da. Nah, we was just doing what we do and shit happened to catch the attention of some shit and then you know what I mean? So it's
Right.
like, oh yo, that's what we was on over here.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
was trying to get niggas to rap. Niggas wanted a plug.
Right. Right. Yeah, that's true.
I'm like, yo, my nigga, this the way out, bro. We can make just as much money. Like, yo, we can do this, we da da da. But you got to realize, like, this is before Cash Money made 150 million from Universal. This is
Right.
before all of the things that come after Master P. Master P is the only thing that we got, or that
At that
from
time,
the
right. He's a
South,
blueprint at that time. Right. Right.
right? You feel what I'm saying? And it seems far fetched because we don't, we ain't really, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know that shit. I know that shit.
Right. Hmm.
So it's predicated on me.
Right. Right.
So they don't know the lingo to talk to them people at that point.
Hmm. Hmm.
They don't know what
They
to
don't know
ask
how
for, what to say.
they don't know the wordplay. They still you talking about street people. They in the street. You know what I'm saying? You don't got them for that. You got these
Right,
soldiers to do the music. They just stay the
right,
soldiers, but
right, right,
you
right, right.
handling the rest of that shit. You know what I'm saying? So no management. You didn't have nobody still running a manage. You was doing everything, Dub. Wow, that's a lot of hats you had on you, man. Real shit. So
Word.
okay, all right. Let's speed up just a little taste. So you get out of jail. You see all of this basically chaos. What do you see? What's the scene when you get home? The label. What's the scene? What's going on at this time?
At this time, it's a lot of weed.
Mm, mm. Right, right, right,
I
right.
come on with a lot of weed, bruh. You know what I mean? I'm like, whoa, all right. So this what we on? You know what I mean? I'm like,
Right,
all right, cool.
right,
You know what I mean?
right,
I can get with this. So
right.
boom, I'm like, all right, so what's up with the whoop whoops?
Mhm.
Now, mind you, they was sending niggas JPay and all that.
Mm,
I'm getting
mm.
Grip the Records JPay once a month. You know what I mean? They
Right,
put a little
right.
100 on my books. Nah, I'm not letting
The
niggas ain't
label, the
giving me
label sending
bands.
you money. The homie sending you bread.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm all
okay.
right. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right,
Like
right, yeah.
I ain't hurting for my bed now.
Right, right, right.
Come home. And it's like, all right, boom. So I'm on the phone with them because now I can talk now. I can call and try to get people on the phone and try to make this shit happen.
You're trying to get the band back together.
Boom, I'm trying to get the bag. I'm trying to get to this bag because I
Right.
left 300,000 on the
Yes,
table
sir. Right.
last
Correct.
year.
Right.
You feel
Right.
what I'm saying?
Right. Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
Boom. So I'm calling. I can't get in touch. So I finally get in touch. He was like, yo, holla at your mans. We got put that out there. They went the other way. And I'm like, what you mean the other way?
Mm-hmm. Mm. So you stuck. You like what? You know they so you know they hustling. You know, like you said,
It's
behind
visibly
yeah.
evident.
Right, right. And behind the wall, you know they done
Man, them
they
niggas sending me
doing this type of
pictures. They
right.
dropping cars. They, you know
Mm,
what I mean? Shit is
mm,
flipped out. You know what I mean? Like they
mm,
just,
mm,
it's they doing it. You know what I mean?
mm.
And I'm like,
Right.
oh, okay, yeah. Woo. But niggas been doing it.
Mm-hmm.
It
Mm-hmm.
ain't like niggas just started doing it.
They started that right. They
We
already
been
been doing
doing
it.
it.
Right. But now you got a plug that's you done that taking it to the highest highs. Now you got it to the highest high. But so you in your mind, you know in jail, you know that they done took the other side, they done took the bag, but you still thinking, okay, when I get home, I can get these motherfuckers back on this music.
No, I thought I could get the deal back, but the deal
Mm,
had fallen through because too much time had passed, and it was like, yo, that's not what the focus is.
mm.
Y'all more valuable over here. Fuck you,
Oh
mean?
wow. Wow. Ah. Mm, mm.
You know how it be in the movie, right?
Yeah.
When you
Mm-hmm.
try to do it for a little while, you gonna get in. You can't get out.
No, no, especially when you're making that money.
I need you, my nigga. You play a
Right.
position.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I
If you
told you
leave,
this.
if you leave, that's
I
gonna take
told
money
you
out my
this
pocket.
going in. I was like, no, bro, that ain't what we need because ain't no exit. Nah, we
Right.
just going oopty whoopty whoop and then blah 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 blah.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
But if you look up the Nicky Barnes story, Mr. Untouchable,
Oh
my
yeah.
father is in that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, my dad, my bio dad is in that fucking story. My dad was a part of the commission, my nigga.
Oh
Like
wow. 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 I'm very familiar with Nicky Barnes'
street
story.
soldier DNA with an OG trait. You know what I mean?
Mm,
Like it's in my
mm.
DNA. That shit. I know how this shit work, bro. Like
Right.
having a plug. Yeah, that
Mm.
no, my nigga. Once you start making money for the, you become a cog in the machine. And if
Right.
this cog stop turning, then this one don't turn. You feel what I'm saying? And
So
this one
so
got to turn.
okay, we got it. They soldiers, they
Right?
doing that. So you not even you, they not even coming to you saying, okay, Dub, put you back in the lab working on something just for
Oh yeah,
you
yeah. We
doing it.
we we back in the lab, but it's been a different way.
Mm.
Yeah, it's been a different way. Now I go to being managed by Ray, who is representing me as a producer, trying to get my beats, placed with some artists and stuff. So then that led to Old Dirty is coming home from prison, and
Oh, dirty
he's about
bastard.
he about
Oh,
to
okay.
ODB is about to come home from prison,
Right.
and
Okay.
he's about to sign with Rockefeller.
Hmm.
So um my manager and Old Dirty's manager was partners. Well, not partners in business, but like friends. You know what I'm saying? Boys
Hmm.
come up out the same hood. So they was like, "Yo, we
Right.
trying to get a team together." And he was like, "Yo, I got a producer out of Carolina, and bro, hot, whoop, whoop, boom, boom, boom." So I went up and I drove up to New York and spent about 3 months in New York.
Right.
Right when Dirty was getting out,
Hmm.
and built a relationship with him. Royal Flush, shout out Royal Flush,
Shout
um,
out to
Lord have mercy, and a few other guys from there from that left rack city Queens era. Guy was hanging with Nori, you know
Nori.
what I mean? Like yeah, no, and shout out to that to they part Drink Champs podcast.
Shout out
Nori
to
a
you.
real dude. Nori real dude, man. Real
Bro.
like
Yeah, I heard
super
he was
thug, super thug before super thug was super thug. Like
right.
he is
Right.
super thug. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
For real,
So
for real. Good. Love the city.
how was that experience with Old Dirty? Because I remember you when you were up there during that time getting it
Yo,
in.
the crazy part about the Old Dirty, the part of my life, right? Okay, so I'm at a high then because it's like, yo, I'm about to do beats for Dirty, nigga. He
Right.
on
Right.
rock. Now you gotta realize I'm probably one of the biggest Jay-Z fans in South Carolina. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? So
Hmm.
my now I'm a Wu fan and one of my favorite Wu artists because like the drunk style. The drunken man is about to sign with the Rock. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like,
wow, wow. Yeah, I
it's,
forgot he was going to rock during that time. Right,
you know what I mean. So
right.
he's coming home signing to the Rock.
Mm-hmm,
When
mm-hmm.
I met ODB, he has a R and a record. He has the record, the LP, the 12-inch with the stylized R for
Oh, dope
Rockefeller
shit.
with a Rockefeller chain like that
Around his neck,
with the
right.
R. Yeah, with the
Mhm.
R with the record. That's what he had. He had got chained. His chain and date included that chain. So
Mm,
um,
that's the
it was
original shit.
yeah, it was wild because like I didn't really know that I was as dope as I was until that trip
Mm,
because I didn't have my floppies. Back then the Triton had floppies, right? So
right,
you had
right.
3.5 floppy disk.
Mm-hmm,
And I had floppies in a case like a CD case, but
mm-hmm,
I used to carry my beats on them and my sounds.
right.
And fuck around and left my sounds in another car, and that car was in Jersey when we were going to the studio. So I'm bugging out, and I was able to just get some sounds from the producer that was there and cook up on the spot. So it was that on the spot cook up that created the record that went on to become "Where's Your Money" with ODB and Busta Rhymes. So
Mm, mm.
Uh,
that
Oh,
that was when I was like, yo, you know how people be like, well, what you gonna do if such and such say rap right now? Oh, you call yourself a beat maker. Well, what you gonna do if such and such come in? You oh you can't
right.
right, right,
do it unless you got this. You know what I mean?
Got
It
to
right,
was
cook
right,
up on spot
right,
it
with
was one of those
whatever.
moments
right.
like I did not have my
Mm-hmm.
go-to kits. I didn't have my curated drums that I use that I know
Everything from scratch.
everything was from, oh shit, I need a loop. Oh shit. And they
Mm,
were look and like I don't know if anybody's ever worked with major labels, right? But labels work like this. So they when they get something that works,
mm-hmm,
they want another record like that.
right,
They
Uh-huh.
were looking
mm-hmm,
for a Hard Knock Life record.
right. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
So I was looking. So when I went to the store, we were actually at the record store. That's a sample. You know what I
right,
mean? Like I'm dropping needle on the record, buying records. You know what I mean? I bought like
right, right.
7 records that day.
Mm.
Went back and was
You
just
looking
like,
you looking for samples. You looking for something that you can
yeah, just
just pull
so.
something off.
And it was called Daddy Warbuck. No, Daddy. What the fuck? Mr. Big Spender. That was the name
Mm,
of the play. It
mm,
was a play. And remember, the Hard Knock Life was from Annie.
right. Mm-hmm.
So I was going to the record stores trying to find those old records that were musicals that
Around
had
that time.
boom, that had that kind of childlike chorus sing song, and the name of it was Mr. Big Bucks,
Mm,
and it was the song and the chorus line was "Where's your money? Where's your money? You got to have it, need to have it. Someone to buy it. Where's your money? You know what I
mm,
mean? And that was
mm-hmm.
that little chorus line thing. And they had a
Right.
whole little boom, boom, boom. So I was like, I like that. So I grabbed that record. And the piano loop was reminiscent of One Love, One Love. You
Mm-hmm.
lucky just to have from Nas.
My love.
Right. So
Yeah, yeah.
that's
Mm-hmm.
where I'm at. I got that dum 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 dum
Mm-hmm.
dum. That piano
Mm,
loop is what I'm trying to sync with. Where's your money? So I'm trying to recreate that
right.
with what I got on the spot, and
Mm-hmm.
found some drums, chopped some drummers up, and then the rest is, you know what I mean. That record. So that record gets made. Dirty
So
loves the beat.
how was Dirty's his writing? What was he writing while you were making the beat? Did you make the beat first?
No,
Did
I'm
he have
making.
somebody?
I'm making beats. I'm just in the lab making
Okay.
beats. Like they just leave you in there, right?
Okay. Right.
Like,
Right.
hey, do your thing, producer. Boom. So
Okay.
I'm in there just click, 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 click,
Cooking
click.
up. Okay.
So I got a little minute. They in there doing their thing. They burning. They playing CeeLo. They talking shit. They
Mm-hmm.
ordering food. They doing whatever. You know what I mean? They just
In your
bugging
zone. You
out.
over in your zone.
And I'm in the zone. I'm in
Right.
there cooking up. So when I
Mm-hmm.
get like 3 to 5, I open the door. Yo, come in, check this out.
Okay. Right. Right.
Boom.
Okay.
Right?
So you
All right.
isolated. You in a room by yourself.
It's me and my homeboy.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I got a little homeboy with me, Mars, my nigga
Mhm.
Mars.
You
So
blowing, you in there smoking, doing your
that's
thing.
why Mars is in there. He got to keep me rolled up.
That's right, right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So boom. So we blazing. You know what I mean? We doing our thing. I'm
Mm-hmm.
pacing back and forth. You've been in the studio with me. You see how I
Yes,
work.
sir.
You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
It's a whole thing.
Yes, sir.
So we working and I come up with the beat and it's like, yo, this is it.
Mm-hmm.
This that one. You know how you get that feeling?
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yep.
like,
That's right.
ooh,
That's it.
ooh.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to make that, I'm trying to find a piano loop, but I can't find a loop. So I play it. Blows the room apart.
Mm.
Because they don't know that I can play piano. You feel what I'm saying?
Right,
You,
right,
of course, you also know that I can play the keys, so you've been in there. You know, I just jam
right.
in, find a good something. You don't need but 4 or 5 bars, bro. 8 bars, and you got that. Now you got a loop. You loop that, and you good.
That's
And
right.
build on it. You know what I mean? Put some
Mm-hmm.
chords, whatever. So I played it, blah 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 blah. They like, oh, this shit is going down, right? Boom. So now they like the beats, right? So Dirty liked the beat. His manager, his role manager liked the beat. My manager liked the beat. Now we gotta go to Rockefeller to get them to buy the beats. So mind you, I had never sold a beat for more than $100 at this time, right? And $100 for a beat was like good money. I thought I was doing something. These niggas, we go in there, they were like, yo, we like this one, and this one. So it's 3 tracks. I don't know anything about negotiation at the time, right? I just thinking, okay, yeah, we're gonna go in here and I'm gonna try to sell it, I'm trying to get placements. So I don't got no lawyer, I don't got nothing. I got my manager, me, and old Dirty's manager. Dirty not even in there. We talking to the A&R for his project. It's a white dude, a little look like maybe been a Palestinian or Mediterranean, some kind of dude, you know what I mean? And a little white lady. She in there, boom, we negotiated. They said, well, we like Old Dirty has selected these tracks and we've listened to him. We like these for his project. So we're prepared to offer you $2,500 a piece. So that's a total of $7,500. I'm like, shit, yeah, where the fuck do I sign? You know what I mean? Like at this point, I hadn't made no money. You know what I'm saying? Like no real bread, nigga. This bands and sisters for beats, nigga. Oh man, I done made it. I'm blowed up. I done made it. I'm about to be on this. I got 3 joints dirty. I'm about to be on Old Dirty new album. You can't tell me shit. Boom. So we do that. I come home with about $800 because I done blew all the money in New York. I done bought a chain. I done went and bought a $3,500 chain. I done went and we done went out. I'm buying bottles. Eddie been out with me. You know what I'm saying? Like you to go out with me, we having a great time, bro. If I got any money in my pocket, we
Lord.
having a lovely time. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm.
That's just me. You know what I mean? So
Hey, I'm married now. I don't want to even
no, I'm not. We're not.
talk
None of the
about that, man.
debauchery. I'm just saying, like I'm gonna make sure my entourage. We're gonna live it
No.
up. We're gonna eat good. We're gonna drink good. We're gonna smoke good. It's gonna
you
be all
hear
that.
right here talk about none of the
None of the
debauchery.
debauchery at this point.
Right. That's my big bro right there. So I even remember this is a funny story here. If I'm gonna trip you out on this, when he came home, he had Old Dirty Bastards rhyme book.
I did.
You know
I
what I'm
did
saying?
have the rhyme book. Yeah,
And showed it to me in the
it was a
studio, man. You know what
composition
I'm
book,
saying?
black and white
Composition book,
composition
black
book.
and white. And we were just going through. I was like, man, what the? Well, you got hip hop history. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? At this time, you know what I mean? This is
And
major.
in the book was rhymes that had not come out yet. Me
Yes,
and
yes, yep,
Mariah
yep,
go
yep,
back like babies with
yes, yes,
pacifier. That
yes,
was I had the
yes,
manuscript of that. Lost
yes.
it in a dirty bitch breakup. You know what I mean? Like I was at fucking with a bro, and then like at this time I'm really into music, right? So I'm going out of town. I'm in Atlanta. I'm doing
Hmm.
this, that, and the
Hmm.
third. So I'm out of town one time and was like, I'll be back Tuesday. It's Friday, I'm not back yet. And I'm like, yeah, I'll be, I'm just chill with it. No, nigga, I done had enough of this shit. I'm throwing your shit away. So by the time I did get back, she done threw my shit out. And my tote with my shit was in, like a bunch of mementos and, just keepsake shit I had. She done throw that shit away. And the fucking dumpster people done come and got it. So I done lost this shit. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
Crazy.
yeah, this is
Oh my
crazy shit,
God.
man. Moral of the
Mm, mm.
story is,
book worth so much money, man. You know what I'm
Dumb
saying?
bitches.
Oh my God,
You know what I
that
mean?
should have been in a museum. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what that's supposed to be.
Oh,
Oh, that's crazy. Mm.
but yo, funny old dirty story, right? So we go pick old dirty up, and we gotta go. We going to it's a media run because he's about to release. So we
Hmm.
going to the radio station. Now, mind you, we doing a morning show. You know
Hmm.
what time the Breakfast Club is on?
Right,
6 to 10 a.m.
right.
So if you got to be on the radio, you got to
Hmm.
be there before the radio show comes on.
That's right.
It comes on at 6 a.m. So we're there at 4:30. You feel what I'm saying? Boom. This nigga smoking crack and weed at 4:30 in the morning, bro. Big blunts like this, bro. This nigga buys a 20, right? In Brooklyn, a 20 bag of weed is like this big. Like it was in the dime baggy days. You know what I'm saying? It's like a big,
Right.
but it's big, it's fat like a pillow. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Hmm.
Bitch, damn near look as big as my Raz. You know what I'm saying? It's just
Right,
like this, a
right.
20 bag. Nigga puts the whole 20, right? A weed in a New Yorker, the Dutch man, the New Yorker.
Oh, remember the New
It
York
was longer than the regular joint.
long
You
joint.
know
You're
what I mean?
right. The long
Boom,
joint.
the
Right.
big with Cadillac shit.
Yeah, right,
Nigga
right.
bust one of them down, puts the whole dub sack in there. And the whole red top, the 20 vial of crack, whole top, bro.
Mm. Damn, dirty. So he really was getting high like this for real.
Mind
Mm.
you, I'm riding bitch in the backseat of a Cadillac sedan DeVille, bruh. You feel what I'm saying? Because I'm the nobody in the room.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right, right.
Royal Flush is in the car. We got the
Mm.
driver from Rockefeller. Royal
Hmm.
Flush front seat. Lord have
Right.
mercy by the window. Old
Mm.
Dirty. I'm by the window, but then Old Dirty gets in the car. So guess who gets in the middle? The nigga who ain't from New York. But I'm from New York, but I'm
Right,
the Carolina producer. You know
right,
what I'm
right.
saying?
At this time, right, right,
And I'm like the odd man out. You know what I
right,
mean? I'm
right.
the young guy. I'm this dude. Hey, get in the middle. This nigga jumps in. Boom. I'm riding, bitch. I'm in the middle. You know what I mean? This nigga done rolled up a big one. He fires it up. Right at me, bruh. Crack. What are you doing, dog?
Oh my God! Did you say something to him? Or you just looked at him with that look right there.
You gotta be fucking kidding me right now. This nigga talking about a song. Man, I want to punch this nigga in his mouth.
Right.
Mind you, so my dude live in Long Island City, Queens, right? So he live at a real nice, the Avalon. It's a nice building right there by the ferry. It's on the East River. His balcony look across the East River. We at the 4th of July, we on the balcony watching the fireworks on the East River on the barges. We on his balcony just, you know what I mean? It's dope. You can see the trolley that go across the river. Like the park for that is right outside, like across the street from his building. They got dignitaries and fucking ambassadors from different countries and shit. And we in the elevator. Dirty got on the fucking Rockefeller chain, bro. Rockaware everything. Got the Rockaware polo, Rockaware pants, Rockaware shoes, and all, right? A big 40 ounce in his pocket, bro. On the elevator. Just doing nigga shit. You know what I mean?
Damn, dirty. Shit.
Damn dirty. So I'm on amp. I done sold these 3 beats. They done made the album. I listened to Dirty recording his vocals to the track.
Hmm.
So when Buster gets the track, Dirty's vocals are already on the track, right?
Okay, right. Hmm. Buster doing it at his studio.
Right. But
Okay.
this is what happens. I come back, right?
Hmm.
Thinking that the album's gonna come out. This nigga go get on a plane and dies.
Right. I remember that happened with Old Dirty. Right.
He
Wow.
overdosed. He had swallowed a balloon with some coke. Nigga, you
Mm.
going to LA.
Right. You got all of that over there. You know what I'm
Nigga, the
saying?
coke you got probably came from over there.
That was horrible.
He swallowed a balloon and the balloon ruptured and he overdosed. You know what I mean? In mid-flight. This nigga died, lands in California dead. You know what I mean? So when I get the news that Dirty passed, I'm like, Well, I thought I was about to make it.
Right, right.
Damn it.
Mm.
Rose my fucking chance. You know what I mean? It's like, fuck, I thought I was this close.
But I mean, since you up there and you got this placement with Dirty, it wasn't other people, other artists trying to get placements with you, or they were trying to you were trying to work with during the time.
I don't have a name yet.
Right, right.
These records haven't come out. That
Mm.
opportunity was presented and I hopped on it. Like, what? Old Dirty,
Right.
I'm gonna be heard.
Right,
This
right.
is, you know what I mean? Old Dirty is signing with Rockefeller, bruh.
Mm-hmm.
This is a monumental moment in hip hop.
Right,
This is his first solo joint. He going on rock. You know what I'm saying? He from Brooklyn. Jay-Z from Brooklyn. It makes sense.
right. It does. Right.
Boom. So I'm just like, yeah, this is, I'm on a high. Like, yeah, boy, my career about to take off. I got this, the whoop, soon as these records come out, I'm gonna be known as a nigga that did that beat. Now nigga gonna start checking for me.
Mm-hmm.
But the nigga dies before the album comes out.
Mm.
They don't release the album, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking that the songs that I've done are just dead.
Right.
Fast forward maybe 3, 4 years later, Busta Rhymes drops a new album.
Mm-hmm.
On the album, it says, "Where's Your Money?" featuring ODB.
Mm.
I damn near shit myself.
Right, 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 right.
I'm like, there's no way, right?
Mm-hmm.
Grab the album, play the song. It's my song.
Mm.
I
Oh,
have no production credit.
none.
Did they remake your beat?
They didn't remake the beat. How I don't have production credit is because I signed a non-disclosure agreement when I sold them the beats that I wouldn't disclose that I had worked on this project. And in that non-disclosure agreement, based on a wording in the contract, it was a work for hire.
I heard about these work for hires. Remember, y'all. Like I always tell y'all every show, this is a communiversity. It's a learning. While he telling this story, this is also what he's teaching. So this is a learning situation. So pay attention.
So the difference in a work for hire situation is when you do a work for hire, if you're employed or you agree to a work for hire contract, any work that's created, the work being the art or the beat, the song, the painting, the video, whatever the fuck you're commissioned to produce,
Mm-hmm.
that work um, becomes property of the person that hired you if it's done as a work for hire, and whatever compensation is all you shall receive. Now,
Mm.
if I had known that better, then I could have got it worded different where I would receive the credit, proper credit. But
So,
none
so,
makes
so,
sense.
so, so just a side note before you finish your story, just on that because that's very important. How would you have got that change, or somebody that's dealing with that situation now? Should they get a lawyer?
I would have gotten you could it was all most advantageous to always get proper legal counsel when dealing with any negotiation, any contracts, if any kind of legalese, because
Right.
that language is not. It's a totally different language than the English language. It's not the same. Like the same words mean something different in the courtroom than they do outside that courtroom. You know what I mean?
Right.
So and using herewithal, there with whether 2-4 heretofore and all that other shit. You know what I mean? Like they'll construe some shit and we thinking it mean this, but it don't. It mean that, and then
Right.
because what we thought it was, well, ignorance is a burden. You know,
Right. Yes, sir.
so
That's it. Right. That's right. That's right.
that ain't that's not my fault that you didn't know and you signed the agreement unknowingly because we'll act like, oh yeah, everything good, yeah, I read that you know
That's
but
exactly
I'm not mad because I wanted the $7,500. I'm good with that. I didn't
right.
give a fuck
Right.
about with the whoop, but
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
how it came out, like I didn't have any idea that I didn't have no idea about the business side. A very talented brother, but I didn't know shit about how to make sure all the backside was taken care of. I ain't getting no back end.
Right. 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 So after this happens, so you home. are you back home? Are you trying to work with the label again, or trying to get the guys back on, or are you just saying, I see his money in this,
Yeah,
and I'm trying to get
at
placements. I'm
that
just
point,
trying
it
to
was no more. It was no more being a group. It was
mm,
all about being an engineer and producer because
right.
I saw a lane. I'm like, yo,
Hmm. Hmm.
I got bread off of 3 beats, bro.
Right, right. Without the headache of dealing with artists, the rest of this crap, I'm just
That's all I was trying to do
right,
was just
right.
get placements at that point. And
Hmm.
then I was like, well, when that proved to be harder than and easier, I was like, well, I can go into full-time engineering. And
Why was it harder? Why did you would uh was it when you got back? Were you trying to reach out? I mean, what was the
yeah,
steps?
when I say harder, because it was not as easy as today because we didn't have the internet. It was not then what it is now. I mean,
Hmm.
like emailing and what I mean, being able to post shit online and just
Right.
the back and forth of remote work
Hmm.
wasn't as.
Hmm.
I mean, but we still mailing CDs back this time.
Right, right, right. No doubt. Right,
It
right.
ain't like nigga didn't even know what to do with an MP3. I don't even think MP3s had come out yet.
Hmm. Right. I remember mailing them CDs, the poor man's copyright. You know what I'm saying? The
Yeah, all that
copyright.
type of
Right,
shit.
right,
You know what
right.
I mean?
Right, 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 right. So did you get any more major placements at this time, or it was more when you got home you were just working with artists that you ran into? What was the situation right then? Where were you at? What place? Because it seemed like, I mean, your mind, the place that you would be at right now, you got to think about what you just told us now. You had a deal, you went in, you came back. Basically, the guys just went another way. No
But no, I
leadership.
can't say they went another way. They went the way that they were comfortable with. None
They
of these
did
dudes
right,
were
right,
record executives. None of these
right,
dudes were
right, right.
producers.
But I,
All of
but I
these
mean, but I,
dudes,
but I mean, as far as nobody
they
saying
gave a bunch of trappers a fucking
right,
a plug. You know,
mhm, right,
you feel me?
right,
I ain't mad at
right,
them for
right,
doing what
right.
they do.
Of course not. No, no, no. But I'm just saying nobody, and I'm not either, because I understand what you mean by that. I understand. You know what I mean. You should. That's putting a fish in water. You know what I'm saying. You know what I mean. That's what you're doing. So I understand what you're saying completely. But nobody took on the music. It was just more, kid. We just gonna handle the
Oh no,
business.
I never stopped though. I'm still trying to. You know what I'm saying? I'm still like
Right.
this time. The crazy part is now, Highway still doing his thing now. He got Fi Entertainment. You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Okay.
Because we
Okay.
split up. I'm mad.
Hmm.
Fuck y'all. Fuck you mean. You know
Right.
what I mean? So
Right.
there's no more monkey fist at this point.
Hmm.
We had a falling out. You know what I mean?
Right. Hmm.
It was,
Hmm.
but we patched that up. It was more so me and my uh, anger and
Hmm.
and and us as males and our egos.
Right. Right. Hmm.
Nigga, you can't tell me I did the wrong thing. Nigga, this is what the fuck I do. Nigga, I'm
Right.
highway boy. Nigga, I'm on the
Mhm.
highway.
Right. That's right. 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 And like you
So
said, I
I'm like,
mean,
yeah, you right. I can't be mad because nigga, you a trapper. I tried to make you a rapper.
it was
You
trapper
know what I
before
mean?
they was rappers. You know what
You
I'm
was
saying?
trapper, but you understand what I'm saying? That's why I
Right.
can't be mad.
And that's what made the movement authentic, because they really was doing what they
They
said.
live, they
Right.
rapping about
Right.
what they talk. They talk
I
about
understand.
what they living about.
Right. Right. So okay. All right. You got back, like you said, placements going. When at this point did you say, you know what? I'm packing up, getting all my shit up out of the corner. I'm going to Charleston. I'm just gonna start my movement there and try to and just rebuild here.
It didn't happen like that. Okay,
Okay.
so this is what
Okay.
happened. Um, April 2003,
Mm-hmm.
I lost my mom to cancer.
Mm.
She finally
Mm.
succumbed to that battle. We've been fighting that battle since fucking in the 90s. She told us in 96 that she was diagnosed.
R.I.P. Miss
We had
Juanita.
we
And
had done
side
did.
note, for people don't know, when my mom we first moved to Most Corner, my mom worked in the shop with Miss Juanita. She gave her
Hell yeah, that's how.
opportunity
That's why you my
and
little
gave her
bro.
stuff.
Nigga
That's
don't know
right.
that's
That's
how we
right. And I
became
know
family.
Dub since then. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
rest in peace, Miss Juanita. She always loved. Always was a nice. When I saw her, she always had a nice smile and a good word for me. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah. Salute, man. My mom one of the real ones.
What's up?
But like I was saying, what the fuck was I saying?
You was talking about coming back. You know what I'm saying? Just when I asked you about you
Oh,
packing and
my
moving to
mom, my
Charleston.
mom passed,
Your
right?
mom passed,
So
right?
boom. Um, my mom passed that April. I'm still in the studio
Mm-hmm.
in the shed, right? Because
Right.
I own that home. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So
Mm-hmm.
um, and like I said, I got 3 kids, so I don't have the spot. You know what I mean? I got 3-bedroom house. Me and my wife, my 2 daughters share a room. My son had his own room, and the rest of the crib. So the only spot I got for the studio is this little back spot. So I'm doing my thing, and when my mom passed, self-admitted mama's boy. You know what I mean? But not like the fruit kind of mama's boy, but just like a mama's boy because like she was really important to me. Like that's my rock. You know what I mean? So like I was I was a big loss right there. You know what I mean? Like I was reeling, my nigga. Like no, for real, for real. Um, and at the time, my wife then, when she came and not understanding what my grief was about and how I was grieving, because at the time I didn't come out of the studio. It didn't require much of me. You know what I mean? I could drink and smoke and make my music and just not have to deal with the reality of my mama being gone. So I was in the studio for about 2, 3 weeks, like after her funeral. And it was in May. I remember that shit, bro. Like yesterday, she was like, "Yo, it's gonna be me of the music," and I'm still making music. So you know,
Yes, sir.
like I don't. It was a very selfish statement to me at that time. You know what I mean?
Mm.
I'm like, damn, bro, I'm just trying to deal with it, and this is the way that I deal with it. If you love me, if like you say you love me, then you would just allow me to fucking like I ain't in the street. I
Right.
ain't
Right.
out here. I'm at the house, bro.
Mm-hmm. And you
You
talking
know,
about loss from your moms, you know what I'm saying? That's serious, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You talking about my creator gone, you know what I'm talking about, you know? Yeah,
reason why I'm here is no
right.
longer with us.
That's
And
right.
if you gonna tell me to choose you or the music, bye, bitch. It's a no brainer. I've loved
Right.
music longer than I've known you.
Right. That's right. That's
Music don't talk shit to me.
right. Hmm.
I ain't gotta make sure she come first. You feel me? I ain't gotta buy this bitch nothing on no. I don't
Nah,
gotta remember no days. And
nah.
she's not gonna look at me funny because I didn't say, "Oh, baby, you
I,
got a new haircut."
I used to just say only thing about music was she's just a whore now. She'll fuck with everybody now.
She'll
She
fuck
don't
with
give
every.
a fuck. Yeah,
But
yeah.
listen, do you really want a good girl or do you want a whore? You know what I mean?
Mm.
Mm, mm, mm. Do you really want your girl not to know how to suck dick though? I mean, like for real. You know what I mean? Everybody talking about, no, I don't want no mileage. Man, I don't want to teach no bitch nothing. Come over here knowing how to do
Okay.
something.
Yes, sir.
Only thing I need to teach you is how I like it.
That's right. That's
I
right.
don't need to
That's
teach
right.
you how to be comfortable
That's right.
with dick. You know what I mean? You need to come over here knowing how to do dick. You know what I mean? That's what I need out of my woman. I'm sorry. Hey, I don't give a fuck. If you feel like you got too much mileage on it, we'll get you a new one. You can buy a new everything now, bruh.
Right. That's right. That's right.
Mhm.
That's
If
right.
you reset the mileage, right?
That's, yeah, that's all.
How a nigga
Reset
don't want to know, oh man, her body count, she got too much miles. Nigga, you drive a '07 that you bought in 2020. Talking about I got this Benz. Nigga, that shit ain't been a Benz. You got a Mercedes. It ain't been a Benz in years. Okay?
but every light on, like have say, every light on the goddamn dashboard look like goddamn 4th of July. That motherfucker.
Motherfucker got more lights on the dashboard, you know what I'm saying, than Christmas, bitch. I'm gonna just be real with you. You feel what I'm saying?
Oh shit. Real shit.
But yeah,
So
man, I don't work with everybody that I've ever wanted to work with.
mhm.
Anybody of like, I just found out not long ago, I think a couple months ago, that I'm a living legend. One of my friends that I know that does video and shit, you know what I mean? Like he's a younger than me, and he knows what I do because he's
Right.
been to my studio. He seen me do my thing. You know what I mean? Like he
Mm-hmm,
sees
mm-hmm.
me get clients and shit, but he didn't know who I was.
Right.
I
Right.
mean, like he met me not in the music thing. Like I just met him because he's friends with my nephew,
Mm-hmm.
and my nephew was doing video, and he doing we both creatives, that type of shit. We chop it up. He likes me, for my intellect, that type of
Right.
thing. Don't
Right.
know who I am. Music don't know. He know Dubb Slimm, but don't know Dubb Slimm musically, right?
Musically, right.
So he got a video client, and he's doing the video, and then the dude was like, "Yeah, man, I need a producer." He's like, "Oh yeah, I got a producer, homeboy, man, my homeboy Dubb." So the little young man was like, "Dubb?" He was like, "Yeah, Dubb Slimm. You know Dubb Slimm?" He was like, "Yeah, I know Dubb." Like, you mean Dubb? Will Dubb Slimm Haynes on Facebook? He was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Shit, man, I don't know that dog like a legend, bro. I don't know if I'm like." I was like, "Oh shit!" Like, you
Real
know what I
shit.
mean? I
Real
was
shit.
humbled. You know what I mean?
That's a young man
I
that knows
feel
his
like
history.
I'm the shit. Don't get
He,
me wrong.
he
Everybody
knows
should
his
feel
history,
like they the
man.
shit. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like Hefe, you feel like you the shit, right?
No, for real.
Yes,
For real,
sir.
for real. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? But
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
like I was telling my younger brother the other day that I was like, yo, bro, when a motherfucker tell other motherfuckers that you the shit at what you do, and you don't have to tell motherfuckers you the shit, that's when you are really the shit.
That's when you made it.
Because you should
Mm-hmm.
always feel like you the shit. You feel what I'm
That's
saying?
right. That's right.
Like I always know what I was the shit.
Mm-hmm.
Eddie, you can attest to the fact that I'm pretty much a cocky motherfucker. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Right.
Like, but
But
cocky with a reason.
I seen you work. I seen you not just do music. I seen you build restaurants. I seen you build businesses. I seen you
Yeah.
did digital marketing. You know what I'm saying? Before motherfuckers was even talking about social media marketing, you had a digital media company. I remember all of this. You was always ahead of the trends. Like you
But my
could
thing is
almost see
always
what's
for the
going on.
culture, though, bro.
Right.
I always
Right.
try to bring. My thing is
Hmm.
to be a solution. If you're not a part of the solution, you're a part of the problem.
Problem.
So I
That's
like
right.
to bring solutions to the table. You
Hmm.
understand what I'm saying? I
Hmm.
realize we don't have that. That's why I was a major supporter and a large contributor to the Geechee One movement,
Yes. Yep.
because that's
Yep.
an infrastructure that we need for
Hmm.
the industry of music. If you
I
don't
agree.
have anybody that's covering what you're doing,
Hmm.
you know what I mean? Like
Yep.
you gotta have that platform. Like this
Mhm.
show is a platform that we need so that they can understand what's going on and why
Yes.
we do what we do.
Yes,
The
sir.
the,
Yes,
the
sir.
BTS, the behind the scenes of the shit.
Hmm.
Man,
And I wanted to be for and I wanted it to be a situation for brothers like you that can tell these stories that have been through experiences. They we got a lot of podcasts they have now, and they bring on a lot of brothers that man, they might have been in the game, be it mainstream or underground or whatever we doing
and
now.
we ain't even talk on the fact that
20 seconds. You know what I'm saying?
Ghetto
Not even
Union,
mm,
Ghetto Union. Like I was on tour with Cash Money for 6 cities
right.
as an
Come on,
opening act.
man. Come on,
You know
man.
what I'm
Come
saying?
on
Like
now.
it's
Come on
all
now.
kind of things that I've done in my career that
Right.
I don't
Right.
even really speak about
But these are
because it's
but check it out though. Me and Hef talk about this all the time. The reason why we chose to do this on this platform and this type of level and bring brothers like you is because a lot of brothers still misinformed. We got brothers that I see Hef talk about all the time, telling them, "Hey, y'all need to do videos. Hey, stay on top of your videos." Why are you still telling somebody in 2025 to still do videos or do promotion, knowing that's how important that is? Why are you still not able to do? You got a phone in your hand that can do every single thing, including record music, because I got brothers that's behind the wall that's in prison recording music on their
band lab.
phone. So
Mm-hmm.
it's no excuse, man. It's That's me and Hef say all the time. There's no
Yo, listen,
excuse.
I got
You know what I'm
clients,
saying?
bro. I swear to you, I got clients that I got one little dude. I think he's from, I want to say England,
Hmm. Mm.
and he sends me his music to mix. But I had to teach him how to export. I had to go on Google and read how to export stems from BandLab so he could send me wave files so I could mix for him.
Well, we was just talking about that. Me and Donna was just talking about
Hmm.
that because, like, it's really them boys behind the walls working harder than folks out here free that got access to everything, that got
Hold
access
up.
to get to some money to go to a regular studio and everything else and don't utilize it. Man, one of my partners, he record at least like, I mean, granted, he got time, but there's plenty of niggas that got time out here too that ain't doing shit. You see what I'm talking about?
But
So,
hold on, Hefe. Not to cut you off, right?
okay,
But only to offer. I have that same argument you have. Time, right?
right.
Motherfucker with resources that don't use their resources to their advantage, and motherfuckers with less resources that use those to the most advantageous situations. But the difference being, the average person on the outside, let's say you even have some time, right? But you still have things that the person on the inside don't have to worry about. Just a daily life on the inside versus being on the outside is a different life. The person on the inside ain't got nothing but air and opportunity. The person on the outside got air, opportunity, some bills, abroad that's in his motherfucking head, homeboys coming by. Like, it's all kind of distractions out here that aren't in there. So you can be a little bit more productive in there if you got like a phone. You know what I mean? Like if you got a
Heard that.
phone in the prison. I done been to prison. You feel what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
I use prison mentality on the street. I tell this to my homeboys all the time. Yo, listen, my nigga. If you can go to prison, if you can go to do the 90-day bid in county, ain't no way you can't do a 90-day bid in the streets. Cut that
right.
shit out. Cut everything else out that ain't essential for your survival, for your existence. Go to work, pay, you know what I mean, whatever the fuck. But once you get off work, come straight home. Don't go out. Don't go to the bar. Save all your bread. Don't buy no extra shit. Don't put that same mentality out here. It's harder to do out here because you have so many distractions. Inside don't have the same amount of distractions as outside, and that's the major discipline. Discipline being the major delineating factor. And when I didn't understand what discipline was, I was at a loss. My grandfather used to tell me all the time, you can't have no happiness without discipline.
Right.
And at the time when he was saying this, discipline to me meant being on punishment, getting a beating, losing some kind of privilege. I couldn't go to the skate ring, couldn't go to the game,
Mm-hmm.
couldn't do something. That's discipline. But discipline is getting up. Like you'll be more disciplined to the white man than you will be to yourself, right?
Mm-hmm. That's true.
You
Mm-hmm.
and the average person, and I can say this as a serial entrepreneur that has started several businesses successfully. You'll be more disciplined for that person than you'll be for yourself because you'll shortchange yourself because you won't give yourself the same respect that you give another motherfucker. You'll get up and be on time for that
Mm-hmm.
other motherfucker's job, but you
Mm-hmm.
won't be on time for your own job because you'll say, hey, it's me. And it's okay if I'm late because I'm the boss. But it ain't okay if you late because if you say you open at 9, if somebody come up there at 9:05 and you ain't there, it's a big deal. To you, it's not a big deal because, hey,
Preach.
I was here at
Preach.
9:08, but you're
Mm-hmm.
supposed to be there at 9 o'clock. You should have been there at 8:45.
Right. Right. Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying?
Mm-hmm. Because
Mm-hmm.
it's your
Most
because
people
it's
want
your
to be
shit.
most people want to be entrepreneurs because I don't know.
Right.
I'm tired of working. I want to I want to open my own business because I'm tired of working. You work more for yourself than you do for
Yeah,
the.
that's harder. Yeah. Right.
Let me tell you why you work more for yourself, right? And I've known this my entire life. My first job with my grandfather had to be to work at 7, but I had to be to work at 5 because I had to go pick up all the crackheads who worked for him.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Then we get off at 3:30, but I don't get off till 5 because I got to go drop all these motherfuckers off.
Back off.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Right.
Then I don't get off at 5 because I got to go back to the job site to prep for tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, when you got a job and you go to job from 8 to 5, guess what? 5 o'clock come, your ass is out.
Right.
You ain't cutting the lights off. You ain't setting the
Nah.
alarm. You ain't balancing the books. You ain't putting the deposit in for the night. You ain't doing none of that other shit because your shift is over and your responsibility is what they're paying you for
What they're
is
paying
done.
you for. Right. Right.
That's a fact.
That's a fact.
Mm-hmm.
So that 8-hour day that you complain about turns into a 16-hour day that you can't complain about if you become the boss. And you don't want to hire nobody because you don't want to pay
That's a
nobody.
fact.
You want to
Right.
keep all the money.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fact. It's
That's true.
16 to 18-hour days. They don't know about that.
They
They
don't
don't
know
know
about
about
that.
that. They
They don't
don't
know
know
about that.
about that. What we talk
Right.
about, Donald? They
Yes,
don't
sir.
know about that.
Yes,
That's
sir.
16
Yes,
to
sir.
18-hour days.
Yes,
They
sir.
think I'm crazy when I say yeah, 18 hours. Yeah, I did that for a whole 9 months straight till I could take a break. They don't
That's,
know about that. You
that's
see what I'm
right.
talking about? They
Hefe
like when you
own a trucking
you go
business.
sleep.
You want
Yeah,
to
You get rest when you can. You take a
I've been
nap
in
when you
logistics.
can.
yeah,
I've run a logistics firm. Yeah.
yes sir, yes sir,
From every aspect, from building the fucking website, the booking site, to driving the motherfucking truck, white glove delivery all the way down,
yes
desktop
sir.
delivery, yeah, last mile,
Mm-hmm.
whatever, final mile delivery that year. I done it all. Uh, hard hat, TDL, transportation, logistics, and
Yeah.
distribution. You see what I'm
Yes
saying?
sir,
Like
sir.
pick and pack, motherfucking fulfillment. Just break it down, palletize it, cross docking. I done it
A
all.
lot of work, man, and you doing like you say, you doing this all yourself. This is 20. This ain't like you say more than 16. This is 24 hour because when you lay down,
But
it's
think
on
about
your
it, bro.
mind
But
and you sleeping.
think about it, right?
You
The
know.
average motherfucker that wants you to go get that good job. Let's break a good job down. And how good is it for you?
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna work at Boeing, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. You got to get them 12 hours out of your day. But you live in Moscow, right? That's 45 minutes each way. That's an hour and a half, right?
Mm-hmm.
Plus 12 that you got to work. You got 13 and a half, right? Well, how much sleep they say you're supposed to get? 7 to 10 hours, right? I mean, 7 to 8 hours, right? All right. So we put 7 on that 13 and a half. Now we at 20 and a half. Ain't but 24 hours in a day, son.
Right. Right. Right.
You got 4 hours left for yourself. We ain't did no sleeping. I mean, we ain't did no eating. We ain't
Mm.
spent no time with the family. We ain't
Right.
spent no time with the girl. We ain't
Mm.
did nothing for our own personal pursuits.
Ain't
Pursuits.
even wash your behind yet.
We
Come on
ain't
now.
did none of that shit.
Come
We
on,
got
man.
4 hours left, bruh,
Mm-hmm. Right.
in pursuit of this good job.
And I ain't work on none of my personal shit. You know what I'm saying? Right. Right.
And you still living check to fucking check.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So if you're
Mm-hmm.
gonna struggle, why not just struggle with your own?
With your
If I'm
own.
struggling for you, and then if I'm struggling and I gotta ask you to get off, and you gonna say no,
Bad for business, man.
I already can't miss a day. Now you
Right.
won't give me one with pay.
Mm-hmm.
You feel what I'm saying? But I want to go to my grandmama's funeral.
And I got to ask you. Mm-hmm.
The
Right.
American dream. You know what I'm saying? The American dream to sell you some debt. You know
That's
what I mean?
right.
They put you in
Uh,
debt before you even get here. Come out
So
of school, you 18 years old. Him, $40,000. Bam, you owe me, bitch.
believe
You
it,
don't
there
even know
too.
what you want to do in life. They're trying to get you to pick your career at that age.
Mm, mm,
Hey, what you going to college for? Yeah, because you got to go ahead and sign up. These motherfuckers doing shit based on money, bruh.
right.
If you chase money, you ain't gonna never want to do. Think about how many jobs you've had that you loathe going to the job
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
because you
Plenty.
were going for the money.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
That
Mm-hmm.
money ain't attractive after so long.
That's right.
Money it move you for a low while. I got mad kids, right? I got 4 daughters, and every time they get a job, they be like, "Oh yeah, Dad, but I got an interview. Yeah, I got this job. Oh, this is a good job. I just can't wait. I'm getting this
Right.
job. I'm gonna get ready. Because this job is $18 an hour, and it's the
Right.
greatest job. This is a good job. Oh, Daddy, I got the job. I'm like, yeah, all right.
Mm-hmm.
Holla at me in 90 days.
Mm-hmm.
I
Right.
want to see if you still got that same attitude about, yeah, this is a great job. Nah, you can't stand this motherfucker.
Instead, don't even want to be there.
Like half the
Mhm.
motherfuckers you work with, and you
Right.
don't want to go there. You can't wait
Mhm.
to get off, and you hate when it's time to go back.
2 times you love lunchtime and time to get off.
You see what I'm
Right.
saying? That's all you
Right.
want. Lunch, bitch. I can't wait till break. When is break? Come
Right.
on, 7:30. You know what I mean?
Right.
Whatever the fuck time you'll get time off. This is all every picture you put. 2 hours more. I got 3 more hours. Oh Lord, I can't ready to go. At the
Right.
time clock. Bitch, I'm out. In the car on the way home. Ooh, glad to be off. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right. Real
But
shit
you
though.
was praying for this same job 90 days ago. This was the
90 days
best
ago.
job. This was gonna answer all your dreams. This was all to
Mhm.
answer all your prayers. This is the dream job. This is a good money. They gonna pay me what?
Right. Right.
They can keep
Right.
this 1865. Fuck them.
Fuck them.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
in their ass. Fuck them.
Right.
Right.
And I'm
Right.
tired of caring anyway. Bitch, get on my nerves. Always asking me if I'm ready. Ready for what, bitch? You know,
So
same motherfucker. So like,
so Dub, let's talk a little shop a little bit right quick.
mm-hmm.
So tell me right now what you using, you know what I'm saying? What you using, your plugins. Tell me your plugins, what you using now. Tell me what your go to, and tell me what kind of boards you running now.
You
What you
gotta
got?
give me. You gotta send me a cash app. You
He
want my
said that's too
sauce?
much sauce, man. He
Yeah,
can't.
you this nigga want my
So,
sauce. Hey, Hefe, tell the nigga want my
hey,
sauce and
He
shit.
said he
I
can't be giving out all that sauce
hey,
now.
Nigga want
I,
the sauce you down and shit.
I ain't want the sauce. I ain't asked for the methods now. You know what I'm saying? Listen. You can get them boys. Listen, I can go to the table and put
Waves.
a chicken. Listen,
Get you a waves.
let me tell you.
Or
Hold up. Let me tell you now. I can put a chicken on the table and I can put all of the ingredients on the table with the spices. But if I don't tell them niggas how to make the recipe, they can make fuck it up. You know what I'm saying? You know
No,
what I
you
mean?
some
right,
So, you
you
know.
right, you right. I can give you the recipe for McNuggets, and if you don't put it out, you go get some
They
Big
ain't even know
West.
what to do. I mean, listen, I learned a lot from you. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And I just want to know, really, like I said, you with me. It's been a little while since I've been really at engineering, so I'm just asking. You know what I'm saying? What's no what
My
do you?
go-to these are my go-to softwares and tools. So when it comes to productions, you already know FL. I'm on
Mm-hmm.
FL. I'm gonna be on FL. I love FL. I got
Right.
FL integrated with my MPC. I
Okay.
just love the MPC drums.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's something about the sequencer. They got like an MPC template for that MPC swing in FL.
Mm.
It don't emulate. You know what I mean? So
Right.
it's close, but it ain't the static. You know what
Right.
I mean?
Right. Right.
And I
Right.
just need that static. And I think that's a part of my sound.
Mm-hmm.
You know. And then when I saw that Zay and Metro use that, I was like, oh yeah, bitch, I've been on that. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
He was
Right.
doing that. Like, man, bitch, I've been doing that because I didn't want to give up my old shit. Like I know that shit. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
my
mm,
MPC
Right.
5000, man, I probably give you one of my motherfucking goddamn testicles before I give you that motherfucker that.
Right.
For real. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
I don't need but one nut.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. You still,
yeah.
But
you
I
still,
ain't making no more babies.
so you still like your analog feel. You know what I'm saying?
It's just because of the sequencer function. And my thing is
Okay.
about workflow, right?
Mm-hmm.
Being efficient and working as fast as possible.
I like that.
Because you got to get the ideas out. I
Mm-hmm.
got what I call beat ADHD. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I can't stay on one shit too long. If I start looking for a sound, most of the time, if I look for a sound too long, I don't went too far down the sound hole. I hear a sound, save that beat, and go start that sound and started another beat
hmm
because I got, you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? If it
Yeah.
don't, I don't force shit. I go with flow. I'm a
Right.
flow type of dude. So if that's where the flow hit me, if it's moving that way, I'm going with the movement. I'm not
Right.
gonna
Right.
fight that to stay here. Then I'm gonna get burned out, and then it's
Mm-hmm.
gonna just
hmm
sound mundane and whack.
The whack.
I'm
Right.
gonna go with
Yup.
what's moving because that movement is what that's where I'm at. And if I can't catch, I might not catch nothing but the first fucking bass line or maybe a piano loop or something. It might not be, you know what I mean? I might not flesh out a whole idea.
Mm-hmm.
But then in searching for something to add to that, I catch another inspiration. I'm a build on that inspiration because I'd rather have a lot of springboards than one nothing.
Mm-hmm.
hmm
You see what I'm
Makes
saying?
sense. Makes sense. Makes sense.
Because I'll go back and I just take one day and just go back and just go through shit. And I do shit based on like months. So
Mm-hmm.
my folder system will be a month. And then like everything I do this month, I'll date it. Like the name of the beat will be, what's the date? May 1. You know what I mean? It'll be 5/1/25. That'll be
Right.
today's beat. It'll be 5/1/25.1, 5/1/25.2 if I make more than one beat a day.
Right.
I
Right.
stopped trying to name them and I just use them as the dates because then I can go back to a day and listen to that day and see what did I finish that day? And did I finish anything?
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe I could finish something from that day. Now, if I finish something, then I'll take that date name and make it a name. Like, you know, what do I feel from this beat? You know what I mean? Like
Good work.
Dynamite Focus. I'm gonna say
right,
Mr. Eddie. I know he can funk. I like that. How he
right,
got
right.
that never-ending rhyme scheme. How he just keep the pattern. Yeah, this Dynamite's opus. I feel like then I name it like that.
You know, I got a couple from you. You made me a couple bangers. You know what I'm saying? You know, them don't get it fucked up. Dynamite still goddamn getting that ass. I'm just
Hey,
retired, motherfucker.
hey, it's 2025.
No
Pause.
did,
No
Right.
Diddy.
No
You
Diddy.
can't
no
No
say
Robert.
that.
Yeah, because I'm OG. Right,
Yeah.
right, right.
You
Yeah.
can't really say that in 2025. You got to say Dynamite still can drop those bars.
Dynamite still can drop those balls. Right, right. Because
Yeah.
nah, I ain't
Because you
getting in
don't want to
nobody's
get in
ass.
nobody's ass.
Nah. I'm cool. I'm cool on that.
Yeah. Just had to
I'm cool, man.
clarify. You know what I mean? I'm
So
old, but I'm hip. I know the slang and the lingo.
no Diddy.
no Diddy,
No
man.
Diddy.
No Diddy. Dub, man, we having fun with you tonight,
Mr. Cheeks would not live today.
man.
How
No.
you got it? How your name Mr.
Mm,
Cheeks and your
no.
bandmate
No.
name is Freaky Ty?
Man, and the crazy, I'm gonna create a side note, a crazy story about Mr. Cheeks. You know, he used to be in Charleston all the time doing
All the time.
little verses and shit. So
Club
I was
dates.
right. So I was in Echelon, you know what I'm saying? You know, I'm in the club before it was even Venezuela, you know what I mean? The old shit. This he walks up in there. So this back then I'm smoking cigarettes. And I'm smoking cigarette in years, but back then I smoke a cigarette. I'm smoking a cigarette, got about halfway through. So I just threw the short on the floor. Now he's in the club. He goes and picks up the short and smoking the cig. I'm looking like, no Cheeks, bro. Fuck me up, bro. I tell this story every time. I said, man, he was in hard times. After that, I'm pretty sure I seen him in other shit, but that shit fucked me up, man. I just said, man, not the legend smoking shorts off the ground.
That's a
Some
real
hey,
that's a real Jamaica Queen. That's a real Jamaica Queens
real
nigga
shit, bro. I dapped him up. Hoodie smell like just like he had the motherfucker on
outside.
7 days. Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
They
Yeah,
smell like
straight
outside.
real hood nigga. Real. No doubt. Real hood nigga. So let me ask you something, Dub. For a producer, young producer, was you the first producer we had besides super producer Hef we got on here? You know what I'm saying? As far as I guess, you the first guest producer we had on the show. What do you and Hef, you can tap in with this too. What do you suggest for somebody that's just starting off to say, you know what, these guys always say, I want to make beats, I want to make beats, I want to make beats. What are the first things that you suggest them to take their change and buy? What should they have? What type of equipment should they have? What should be focused on to begin this process?
Um, if you just beginning, I wouldn't suggest you spend no money on shit but a computer. You know what I mean?
Facts. And
Like
and some headphones or
yeah,
like
like hardware, like shit
yeah,
that you need. Like as far as I wouldn't stick you with one particular software, especially like now today, with like FL, right? You can get the full version of FL. The trial is the full version, my nigga. The only thing you can't do is recall saved projects. You can save, but you just can't recall a saved project.
facts.
For years, bro. Listen, I used FL free. I didn't have the paid version, right? And I would use the free trial version because you get the full software, and it made me complete beats
Facts. Same. That's how I started too.
because you could render. You can go from fucking scratch to full beat, render MP3, render your wave stems and everything. And what
Mm-hmm.
that did was my cheap ass, because I was so cheap and didn't want to spend $200 for the software. Mind you, I'm selling beats for $250 regularly. I got an Apple Music, like I got a bunch of shit on Apple Music that niggas done rapped on my beats. Like I sell a lot of beats. Like it ain't like I couldn't afford it. I'm cheap.
Facts.
Why buy it? I can use it. I'm using the same shit that I could buy for free. I just can't open the save project. I can save it, but I can't open it. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So all I do is make the beat, mix the beat, and export the bitch. And I export the stems. Then I got to realize, like, hey, well, if I just export the stems, I ain't even got to mix it. Because I can just export the stems and mix it in Pro Tools.
Facts. Yo. Same
So
thing. You don't need to spend a lot of money, man.
yeah,
Like
don't spend money. I would spend money on RAM.
Yeah,
As,
like
as a producer, get a computer with the most RAM you could buy. That's all I can tell you. Like I got 128 gigabytes of RAM on my studio computer, and that's not enough. I want
and
more.
some decent headphones. You don't even need some speakers, just some decent
Yeah,
headphones.
decent headphones.
Fine.
Man, you don't even need decent headphones, my nigga. Buy Apple AirPods. I'm telling you, bro. I mix
Oh,
with AirPods.
word?
I
The air,
mix with AirPods, bro. You
okay,
know
I'm a
why? 70
that's
to
very
80% of your consumers are gonna have those on.
facts. Or I heard, you know what else I heard? That go crazy is and I do it sometimes. The car inside the car.
I don't even do the car no more. Car used to be my go-to in the 90s and early 2000s. I swear by the car. I but I'm a car music aficionado. Like I always have a system in my car.
Okay,
Dynamite to tell you, I'm gonna have that bang. You gonna hear me coming down the corner. You know what I'm saying?
all right,
But
yeah,
that what you got to realize, your phone itself. If you're working on Mac, Bluetooth your phone to your Mac. Use your speaker computers. Use your laptop computers. Use a Bluetooth speaker, a little $20 one. Don't use high dollar shit because the average consumer will not have $300 headphones, my nigga.
right. That's
Get you
true
some
too.
skull candies that's $30.
Right,
If it
that
sound
makes
good on there, it's gonna sound good anywhere, my nigga.
facts. That makes sense. That make a lot of sense.
This right here is why I mix 70 to 80% of music on some shit that fits in my pocket, bro.
See, I never thought to use the AirPods. I'm gonna try that out though, for sure.
AirPods, I mix to my AirPods every fucking session goes to AirPod. I mix on a but listen, I mix my mix when I'm mixing music for release. If I can't talk to you conversational without adjusting my volume, I'm mixing too loud, my nigga.
Mm,
Like I should be able to have a conversation without raising my voice while I'm mixing. If you're mixing louder than that, you're killing your ears and you won't be able to hear the fine-tuned adjustments. Beat making, I bang out. I don't gotta hear the small details, and I don't need to hear frequency separation while I'm making the beat. I know the snare is here. I know the bass is here. I know my hi-hat is going here, and I want it to run here. That's all I need to hear. Now, when I'm mixing, I want low volumes because the higher the volume, I tire, my fatigue, my ears out faster. You can combat room problems with no treatment in your room, no acoustical treatment. If your room sucks, lower volume. You don't
mm,
impart the artifacts of the room if you ain't pumping it loud enough for it to slap off of shit.
facts.
You see what I'm saying? So
Mm,
the less treatment you have in your room, the lower you should always mix. I mix to like I record to about -12, -9 dB. That's my sweet spot. Because you don't ever want to come into your process. You never want to come into your processing unit, your effects louder than they're designed to work at -20. So if you know what I mean, anything like so from 20 to about 20 to 9, you know what I mean? I give about 12 decibel of room. Everybody like to get to zero and want to record at zero. But now if I'm recording you coming in at zero, where am I leaving headroom for my processing effects?
right, you don't got no room to play
I ain't
with.
got no room to play with. So I'm coming in at 12. 9, I'm peaking at 9. I'm coming, my main shit is at 12 and my loud points is at -9. That gives me 9 decibels to play with EQ because every time you add a chain effect in that chain, you stacking on noise. So that's
Right,
going you got to add it's a summing in your mix. So everything you add adds a little bit of more noise and more noise floor. So you add those up, you stack. So you got to leave room to put some shit on so you don't start distorting before you get finished with your mix. You see what I'm saying?
so hey, let me ask you this, because I know like in FL I seen like a video and it said that like when you mix, like you said, before you add on the effects and everything else, like what they would do was they would go to uh the channel rack, right? and they would make sure the volume was, was decent or whatever else. But then, like, before they started adding the effects,
That's
they
track balance.
they would go into the master track. You know how you can go over to the master track and you see all the little knobs and stuff or whatever. They would go over there and they would bring everything under 12 decibels before they added the effects.
Right,
And
because that's giving you room. That's giving you headroom. Because
okay,
you want to, the lower your headroom is, now you can put boost on it before you get to distortion.
gotcha. Okay,
If I'm already at -3 and I put 6 decibels on it, I'm gonna be +3 in the distortion range.
right,
Because I'm
exactly.
-3, I'm gonna get to 0, then I gotta go over 3. You see what I'm saying? But if I'm at -12 and I put 6 on it, now I ain't even at 0. You know what I'm saying? I'm boom, I'm just at -6, -3. That gives your mastering engineer headroom. You want to send it to the master at about 6 to 3 decibels. So when I'm coming into my mastering suite, my mix is at about -6, highest point -3. I never clip out at 0 on my final mix. My final mix sounds low compared to most people's mixes, but it's cleaner and louder because I've isolated and gave everything balance and space. I've given everything its own tonal space within the mix through subtractive EQ. I take away the frequencies I don't want from the track, you know what I'm saying? From the signal. Like if
Mm-hmm.
I got a bass signal, I ain't got my 808 don't got no high frequency on it. For what? It's
Gotcha.
noise. My hi-hat has no 808, no low frequency in it. I'm gonna EQ that off. You know what I'm saying? That way everything is in its own spectrum, and now I can add and balance shit out and it sounds cohesive and whole. And then I take all my instruments on my music bus and I can move the whole track down, and all of my vocals, the leads, the stacks, the backgrounds, the ad libs, and I take my main vocal bus and I can adjust the main vocal or the ad lib, or I can adjust the whole vocal mix with just one fader. If I want to bring the vocals up completely, I ain't got to move 6 faders. I just got to move one.
Mm,
I want to tuck the beat, the whole song down. I just move one fader instead of trying to move the bass, move the snare, move the hi hat. Oh shit! Then I move this, and I gotta move this now. Oh, so what's the shit? I gotta bring this up a little bit. No, just move everything because you got bussing. That's what you know what I mean. That's where your bussing is about. I got everything going to a drum bus. All my drums going to a drum bus. All my motherfucking melody going to the melody bus, and then everything going to the beat bus. The beat bus is where everything in the beat is. Now I can individually separate the beat out, but
Mhm.
then now I can control the volume of the whole instrumental part of the track on one fader, the whole vocal stack on one fader, or I can go into each individual vocal and raise up or EQ or you know what I mean? And my approach
mm,
to mixing is always subtractive before additive. I go in and take out everything I don't want, and then you find out you don't really have to add a lot of shit once you take
mm,
out shit that you don't want to hear. You only adding to make the shit you do want to hear come above the shit you don't want to hear. So if you take the shit
mm.
you don't want to hear away, you don't gotta add nothing to the other shit.
Right,
Right, right.
right.
Mhm.
So you
Yeah,
take everything away, put a little polish on it, compress it, boom, we good to go.
that's a key. That's a gem right there for all
Oh,
y'all. That's a real big gem.
yes,
Nice
sir.
little crash course on some light mixing for real.
Hmm.
And that
A lot
comes
of
from
keys in there.
Full Sail, man. I use the C24 Avid, the Avid C24. It's well, actually, it's DigiDesign because my board came out before DigiDesign was bought out by Avid. So
Hmm.
Pro Tools was made by DigiDesign first, and
Right.
then Avid bought them out. So now it's
Hmm.
Avid's Pro Tools.
Yep.
But my board was made by DigiDesign. So it's a 24 track. It's a C24 24 track mixing board. It's got um 8 sub outs, so I could do like I say my bussing. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And it's a hybrid board, so it's all digital, but it gives an analog sound, and I can
Hmm.
Ooh.
or and I can use outboard gear. So I've got a patch bay, so I can run whatever through the patch bay and then bring that in and double it back out. But I also use so my plugin suites are only Waves, Slate Digital, and UAD. That's all I
Mm,
use.
right.
So Waves is the gold standard. I've been using them for years before Slate Digital was even a
Of
thing,
waves.
and
Mhm.
before um fucking Waves is I can't mix without Waves. That's where
Right.
I'm at. You know what I mean? Like it's a part of my repertoire. It's a part of my toolbox. Now I know people that could do good without it, but it's what
Mhm.
I use, and it's all
Right.
about what you use. You know what
What
I
you
mean? Like
use,
what you
right.
know. Like it's
Mhm.
no different than a motherfucker building your house. You ain't gonna tell him, "Oh my nigga, you using Milwaukee tools?" Oh man,
Right.
I just motherfucker got to use DeWalt on my house. You know what I mean?
Right, 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 right.
You can be like, yeah, man, I like, I'm a real Milwaukee man. I can build a cabinet just as good as the motherfucker who used the wall. So just like I like waves, I can, or I like Slate Digital plugins. I can use, you know what I mean? Whoop. A
Mhm.
compressor is a compressor. It's just like what
Right.
you like. Now, some things do have certain tonal characteristics that you know what I mean are important, like the Avalon 7. My 787, my 737. I
Mhm.
would trade that for a world. You know what I mean? Like I use that on every fucking record. It's on every vocal chain I got.
Mhm.
I don't have the hardware. I still want the hardware,
Right.
Mhm.
but I want the piece of hardware I want comes from the '90s. I don't want a new one.
Mhm.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I
Right.
want one of the '90s units because of the circuitry and the sound that was used at that time. They don't even make them components anymore.
Gotcha.
So you can't get that sound. The closer you can get to that sound is the emulation that I have in the UAD plugin. So that I'm not gonna give that up. You can't. It's got 32K EQ in the high end, 32 kilohertz. Man, my nigga,
Crazy.
that's what makes my vocal sound professional because I put that air on the high end. If your
Gotcha.
EQ ain't gonna give you that air, you can't get that sound. It's not
Gotcha.
gonna give you that.
Right.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's
Yeah.
just a certain sonic that you can't. I can put boost there that's audible to the ear. When you cut it off, it sounds dull, but when you cut it on, you can't really tell that I've done nothing, but it pops.
Mm-hmm.
That's my thing about mixing. You don't really know what I've done, but it sounds better. Like it don't, you can't, it just like damn, if I play it without my EQ on, my mixing and my balancing sounds all right. But when I put the motherfucking effects on, you be like, whoo.
The frequencies.
It's just like it's like bitches and makeup, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know how a bitch put the makeup on and she do it right, it accessorize what she already got, her
Yeah.
attractiveness. But then sometimes you can fuck it up and a pretty bitch put the makeup on and be ugly because like bitch you fuck
Mm-hmm.
that.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you did too much. No, take some of that off of the eye and put some here and blend this over. You know what I
No,
mean? Same
real. Yeah.
thing with mixing. You know what I mean? Like you could fuck up a mix. And me and you could have the same plugins. And you could put too much fucking on the bright side and I could you know what I mean? And you
Mm-hmm.
could make two we could have the same song, same plugins, same effects racks, and get two totally different end results. You know what I mean?
Facts.
It ain't what you got. I record in Pro Tools. I run Pro Tools Ultimate because of my board. So I gotta have Ultimate because of the DigiLink and all that other shit. And I use I got the PCIe card. So my all of my effects plugins are off board. You know what I mean? No onboard effects. So the only thing running on my computer itself is the actual software to record. And so I got the plug-in chassis for the UAD is off board. I got the dual card Apollo Twin with the two processors in it, and then
Mm-hmm.
PCIe card for my Pro Tools for the off-board processor for the DSP on that. Um,
Mhm.
so I got like damn near zero latency on every, even on my auto tune is like
Yeah.
zero latency. You know what I mean? But we're
That's
talking about Okay, I'm running an Avid HDIO 16 input interface. So the Avid HDIO $4,500. Stop. And then I got Black Lion Audio mods on that. You know what I mean?
Damn.
Bought that but I bought that unit from BCM. Shout out to Colin.
Shout out
Um,
to
yeah, that's my mentor. That's my big homie.
Shout
mm,
So
out,
like
BC.
Colin at BCM is who I
yeah,
call and talk shop with. You know what I mean? Like
definitely.
shout out to the homie. And I wanted to make a junior BCM when I opened my for profit studio. I was like, yo, I want that same sound. Cause me and Colin, I've been working out of that studio for so long.
Long time.
And I was like, yo,
Shout
man,
out
I love
Collins,
your
man. Collins, come to the show, chop it up with us, man. You know what I'm
I
saying?
would definitely I give you his number.
Most
Um
definitely.
get y'all. I'll plug that in and get that up for you. Yeah,
I appreciate that, family.
yeah, more definitely on the back room. We get back in the green room.
Yes, sir.
I'll help you put that together because that
Tenfold.
Colin definitely needs to be on this show.
Appreciate that, family.
Um, yeah. So I was like, yo, bro, what you running? Blah 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 blah. And we always talk shop. You know what I mean? We like Colin's one of my homies. I just talk shit to. Like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that was all right. Would have been better if I mixed it though, because
Right.
you used the Scarlet right there, and I wouldn't have used Focusrite. So,
Right.
but yeah, type
Hey,
shit.
not too much on focus right. That some days now.
Oh
Oh no
yeah.
no 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 no! Don't I be giving him shit like don't get me wrong. I love Focusrite. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? I got Focusrite in my rack. My channel
Yeah.
strip
All
got
right.
Focusrite in it. Don't get me wrong. I'm just like I just be saying shit like, yeah, you used the Focusrite right there. I would have probably because Colin is one of them niggas. I don't know if you've ever recorded at BCM, right? But if you ever
I've been there
recorded
once.
BCM,
I've been there
huh?
once.
You been there once?
With Cooley. I think me and Cooley was dropping a record or something in there. King
Okay, so I
Cooley.
don't know what kind of session you have with Colin. I don't know what kind of client Cooley is. So if you're not one of his if you're one of his clients, right, and you build a
Yeah.
relationship with him, so they're gonna bring out about 5 mics. Hold on. I don't know if you need the U87. Hold on. Let me say something. He's gonna go bring another mic out. Sneak out.
Right.
He's that dude. You know what I mean?
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
So
Right.
he's going. Oh no. I think you probably need the TLM 103. Yeah. Oh,
All
Mm-hmm.
right.
hold on.
Yeah.
We're gonna plug it. Gonna bring another Neumann out. You know what I mean?
I remember we went
Just
in there
plug
with
that out.
we went
Then
in
it's
there
gonna
with
plug you
A-Rap
into
and
another
some shit. Right.
compressor. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Right.
Oh, no, I think you need I think you need a red pre 73. Yeah, I'm gonna bring out the Chandler audio. You know what I mean? Like boutique audio
Yeah.
shit. They got a $12,000 mic preamp. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean?
Yeah.
This guy.
Right.
You know what I mean?
All
Right.
the big
Right.
dog.
So
All
Big
the big
dog
dog.
with
right.
it.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Shout out
Yeah.
to Colin. I love
Shout
Colin,
out
man.
Collins,
Colin Miller
man.
is a real cool
Right.
dude. But
Definitely a legend in the area, man.
definite
Oh,
legend.
for sure.
And,
Mm-hmm.
so when I was building my studio, I was like, yo, man, I want your sound. And he was like, what the fuck you mean you want my sound? Motherfucker, you can't have my sound. I'm like, no. I want your signal path. Like, I like how clean your sound is. Like, he
Right.
was like, okay, well, you got to start with the Burr Brown amps. So I was like, all right. So Burr Brown, if you don't know, it's an amp manufacturer, and they make these bespoke boutique, like really good op amps.
Mm-hmm.
So optical amplifiers, with the compressors.
Mm-hmm.
So my Burr Brown amps were upgraded. My preamps were upgraded in the Avid. So I took a $4,500 piece of equipment and dropped another $1,800 in it. And that's why people can't get the sound that I get coming
Mm-hmm.
out of my rig, because I tell them all the time, yeah, you may have because they'll come in my studio and they'll see the Apollo sitting there on my desk. But my
Mm-hmm.
Apollo has no input or output in it. It's only
Right.
running Thunderbolt to my computer, because when I bought
Mm.
my system,
Mm-hmm.
you had to have a piece of UAD hardware to
Right.
run UAD software. Well,
Mm.
now you don't have to have the hardware. They got native plugins now.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But
Right.
I was on them, so I just the only thing my Apollo does is run the fucking Apollo plugins.
Right.
I
Right.
love the Apollo plugins because they're so close to the actual sound of
Yeah.
the actual hardware units
I
that you
agree.
can't beat that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
For the price
Mm-hmm.
point.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
Um, and the native, well, yeah, it does give you ability to run without the hardware, so it might introduce and lower your barrier of entry, but they don't sound the same. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? Like for real, for real. And this is like A to B shootout with real gear, not
Right.
just some, oh yeah, I think this or some shit I read on a fucking blog or some shit. This is real in the field,
Mm-hmm.
good. You know, that me and Colin even going back and forth at BCM with the
Right.
Genelec far field monitors. He's got fucking 15-inch Genelec far field monitors, bro.
Mm-hmm.
35, 31 A's,
Mm.
$10,000 a piece. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
have mercy.
Like,
Mm.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
mounted in the soffit of the wall.
Yeah, right.
We're
Right.
doing the A/B reference test on this level of equipment, so it ain't just like me saying, "Oh yeah, I read this in a blog and this is what it is." No, it's not. Like, hands down, man. You know, apples to apples, because people will always try to compare oranges to apples and be like, "Oh yeah, I did this and da da da." But yeah, but you know, you if you're doing it on a MacBook and a UAD versus boutique standalone hardware, you got a fucking $8,000 mic preamp that was specifically built to power mics with 48 volts, and then I can add a pad and I can change the fucking mic impedance to whatever ohm I need to. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You
Yeah.
get different characteristics. You can really bring the characteristics out of a mic because I know based on Dynamite's baritone delivery or
Mm-hmm.
Hefe's nasal delivery, and I'm just listening to y'all on the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
You got a more nasal tone than Dynamite's baritone chesty tone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna use a different mic on y'all. Well,
Mm-hmm.
my studio, I'm gonna use the same mic, but I got a mic emulation software that
Emulation. Right. Right.
right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Where I'm a
Slate
Yeah.
Digital got a great emulation. Joint,
yeah,
man.
Slate the M1,
Yeah.
the ML1, the Mic
Yes, sir.
Locker One. That shit is
Yes, sir.
fucking phenomenal.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Shout out to
Mm-hmm.
Steven Slate, man.
Shout out Steve Slate, man.
You know, like
Steve
for
Slate,
real.
man. You can have a goddamn Newman's microphone, and you really don't have a goddamn Newman's microphone. You know what I'm saying? Shit. You know what I
That
mean?
that that like, but we can sit here and talk about. Like I tell you, if you don't have but limited money and you can't afford a lot of shit,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
get a Pro Tools intro or artist or whatever the fuck it's called. Pro Tools has a free software.
I think it's called Artist or something like that.
Okay,
Intro
boom.
is
Pro
an Artist.
Tools
Yeah,
artist
yeah.
or Pro
Mm-hmm.
Tools intro. Get
Mm-hmm.
that. It's free. You get
Mm-hmm.
8 tracks of audio.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, when I first started, I had 4 tracks on a fucking cassette tape. I would make the beat on the 4 tracks, bounce those 4 tracks to 1 track, and keep going. Like I would have a bass line, a bass drum, a snare drum, and the hi-hats. Bounce all of that down to 1 track, and then add other elements on the other 3 tracks.
Very
And then
smart.
bounce all of that down to 1 track. And now I
Mm-hmm.
freed up 3 tracks. So now I got a main vocal, an ad-lib vocal, and a background vocal.
Background
And then
vocals.
I bounce all that down to the beat and the vocals, and now
Mm-hmm.
I free up 3 more. You know what I mean? So like, it was a
You gotta
process. So
use
like,
what you got, man, to do
right,
what you
you
need,
don't have
man.
to be
Right.
like people
Mm-hmm.
thinking like, don't be limited. Like you got Band Lab, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Go sit in your car
Yes.
because
Yep.
like
Mm-hmm.
that's probably one of the best acoustical. If you don't have acoustical treatments in your home, your car is probably the most acoustically treated
It sure
thing
is.
that you have. And the
Mm-hmm.
more high-end luxury car you have, the better acoustical treatment it is because they
Mm-hmm.
try to dampen out road noise and outside noise from the
That's right.
from the inside. So you
Mm-hmm.
can get in there and don't have it running or nothing. Just close the doors and just
And that used
record
to
in that environment. Like,
remember that used to be our tester. You do the master, you got to go to the car. If it don't sound right in the car, you got to go back and do it
go back
again.
to the
That's what
drawing
I'm
You know
board.
what I'm
saying.
You
saying?
know what I mean?
Oh,
Shit,
man.
you know.
That car,
Right.
motherfucker,
Yeah,
now.
gotta believe it. And
Yeah,
what
fuck.
Dub said is real, man. The way they design it. I mean, that's and you talking about Grammy award winning producers
Yeah.
take the same thing. I go to the car. If that shit don't sound right in the car, I gotta do that
Gotta
shit.
go back. I gotta
No,
adjust.
for real.
Listen, for
Mm-hmm.
years I adjusted bass, my bass level through the car
Yeah,
Me too.
yeah, most definitely. Me too. Me too.
Me too.
Me too.
because
I still believe in that.
that's always been the place where I had the best system at was in my
That's
car.
right. hmm And that's why we like we said where they listening to the music at in the damn car. You know what I'm
But I
saying?
stopped that, and why I stopped that because that's a down south thing.
It is right. It is. I agree.
We don't have a big
True.
mass transit here, and
Yeah.
everywhere else has a big mass transit, and that's when
hmm
I went to earbuds, AirPods, headphones,
hmm Very
because
smart.
that's how 70 to 80% of the consumers will consume the music
Mhm.
with a
But
headphones,
you gotta elevate. Listen now,
AirPods.
y'all what he said now. Remember while you taking notes, listen. You got to elevate with technology. That's where we get lost sometimes. We get stuck on once. Even though Dub said he got equipment that he still uses, and might be a little older. Dub telling you how to keep up with technology, because if you don't, you're gonna get lost. That's another reason why we behind on a lot of shit.
I
Keep
mix
up with
every no, no,
technology.
no, no. Nothing leaves without going through these.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That
Nothing.
was very. When I heard you breaking that down with Hefe, that was very dope. You know what I'm saying? Very dope.
But that's how they do it.
It
Hmm.
Think
makes
about it.
sense, bro. All the youngins got AirPods.
They
Everybody
do.
got AirPods. Like
That's what.
everybody,
Yep. Yes,
you see what
sir.
I'm saying?
Hmm.
Especially the youngins, and that's who really move
Or
music.
or or the Beats Audios. No, wait,
Yeah.
like everybody got premium headphones. So like the barrier of entry to that, you can get a nice headphone for $200.
Hmm.
A
Hmm.
motherfucker buy their kid that for Christmas. You can get a $200 Christmas present.
Oh yeah.
You know
Oh
what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So if you get to that level, you good, bro. If you
Hmm.
make that shit sound good on shitty phones, because the average motherfucker gonna have a $5 pair of headphones, bro.
Right. Right. Most definitely. Hmm.
As long as you get, and when I say sound good, that's tonal balance.
Hmm. Hmm.
Now, if you want it to bang, you got to have a banging system for it to bang. But it
Right.
should sound good. You should be able to discern your different elements in the crappiest headphones, bro. The
Hmm.
everyday shit that everybody don't have a studio. Everybody don't have a high-end car stereo. Everybody don't have a high-end home stereo. But
Right.
everybody got some bullshit headphones.
Hmm. Yes.
Everybody got them,
That's true.
like so many people got the buds or the pods. So if you mix into skull candy, that's why I do skull candy.
Right. Hmm.
Yeah, I don't even use all of the noise cancellation, super technology, Apple Air. These shit I just showed y'all is skull candy. These off-brand AirPod, bitch. I ain't paying no 200. These
Hmm.
shit for like $39.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Hmm.
But that's what the average motherfucking consumer is going to listen to your shit on.
Hey Dub, like I said, that's what Hef preach that all the time, man. Tell them motherfuckers y'all don't gotta be doing. Listen, you
You
got what
don't got
you need
to get
right
all
there,
the
man. You know.
stuff, and you don't got. It's like they think, oh, they got to spend all this bread, and it's like when I got into the game, bro, my budget was so small, bro. Like I just wanted to make music, so I worked with what I had, and I went out there and I made stuff happen. So it's like you thinking you need this $1,000 equipment and all, and it don't really. First of all, do you even know how to work the software? Do you know your way around Fruity
Bro,
Loops? Do you
I just landed.
know what I'm saying?
But the last
Mhm.
placement, the last sync placement I just did, I got a fucking intro to a TV show coming out on NBC. It's like
Oh,
Mm. Oh,
drive-ins and
hard.
dives, but it's like 50 states, 50 restaurants, 50 tastes. So it's
Mm.
like they went to all 50 states and like so here in Charleston they did 82 Queen and they barbecue shrimp and grits.
Okay. Okay.
They gonna go everywhere. They did in the Philly. They did Gino's
Mm-hmm.
cheesesteak. Gino is the originator. He's the first person that did the cheesesteaks.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like the play. And so they just going all around. But one of my clients, and I got the deal to do the intro music for that. I did that on my
Hard.
iPad,
major,
bro.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
major,
sir. Yes, sir.
You see what I'm
Yes,
saying?
sir.
major.
So it's not even like you don't got like that other shit at YouTube. I'm gonna see
Mm-hmm.
this shit on YouTube.
Hmm.
One of them got the damn flow crazy. Two Chains
Mm-hmm.
and Manny Fresh
Right. Mm-hmm.
produced on the iPad.
Mm.
Hard, hard.
Oh,
See what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Right.
Yeah,
Hard,
like
Right.
Manny Fresh did that on the
hard.
iPad, bro. Like
Mm.
I tell people all the time, you don't. It ain't about the gear. It's your ear, bro.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I like that. I like that. I like that.
It
Even
really.
with remember we used to say about the mix, shit, y'all motherfuckers don't hear what we hear. They just say this motherfucker sound good. We can hear a million mistakes in the
You hear
motherfucker.
all the
Yeah,
bullshit because
right.
you're looking for the bullshit. The average
Mm-hmm.
consumer don't
Nah,
hear none of that.
nah, they don't
Like,
hear it.
listen, I sent a nigga a record the other day, right? A
Mm-hmm.
fellow engineer.
Mm-hmm.
I sent him the Apple Music link to the record that's out.
Mm.
He sends me back, yeah, I would have EQ'd this and it's a little harsh and I would have put a de-esser on that and da 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 da. I was like, bro, this is out.
Right. Mm-hmm. Right.
You got to
Mm-hmm.
realize this is my reference mix.
Mm-hmm.
The average client doesn't come back for the mix and master.
No, they don't. They don't. They don't. Not at
So
all.
what you're nitpicking and critiquing as a music engineer, as a student of music, because you have a degree
Mm-hmm.
in music production. It's
Mm-hmm.
one of my fellow Full Sail classmates.
Right.
So I sent you a link to something that I did. Now you know like, oh, I would have did this, and I'm like, bro, it's already out.
It's
I
already
didn't put
out.
it out.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
recorded it. Yes,
Right.
I would have done all of these things. Yes, it does have a
And the
de-escalation.
person who got the mix from me, they thought it was fine. You know what I'm saying? And
And
then
the
when they
average
took it, yeah.
consumer banging it.
But remember what we as producers, I bet you we can. I bet you out of all three of us, we can listen to a song on the radio that they say is mastered, and you can find pinpoint 5, 6 different little mistakes in the song.
Yo, 10 or 9, 10 or 9, 13. Big dog
Hmm.
shit. It's the
Hmm.
worst song I ever heard recorded.
Right.
Shit
Right.
sucks.
Right.
Listen to the version that's on Apple Music. That
Mm,
shit sucks.
mm, mm.
Like it's a you can tell it's the engineer is a producer.
Right. Right. Hmm. Hmm.
The beat bangs way over his vocals.
Mm.
He's like drowned out
Right.
on the Apple Music version, like the official release. Now, if you
Right.
go to
Right.
the listen to the she said released on YouTube,
Yeah, they done tweaked that a little bit.
yeah, it's a little better. But
Hmm.
the Apple Music shit is fucked up.
Right.
It don't even sound good. You know
Hmm.
what I mean?
Hmm.
From an engineer's perspective.
From
But
his
the average consumer, you can hear the lyrics.
right.
But I hear all the inconsistencies in the record.
Hmm.
That don't
Hmm.
make it not a hit record.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's true. That's true. That's true. Damn Dub, man, you came through, man. Should you came more time than when we expected, man, that you gave us, even though it's being a late night, man. And I promise we appreciate, man, all of this, man. The game, the time, the information, man, your story. You know what I'm saying? I will I know Hef feel like I feel, man. We'd love for you to come back, man, later on, man, and get some more game to the young, to the youth, and to the OGs, man, that need it. You know what I'm saying? I would love for you to come back and share some more information, man, whenever you get a chance. You know what I mean?
It's both a pleasure and an honor to be a part of the show. You know what I mean? To be on here with the generation like hell. You
Yes,
know what
sir.
I mean? To sit here and be able to chop it up with the new generation, with
Hmm.
the
Hmm.
motherfuckers that's carrying the torch.
Yes,
That
sir.
that's really more important to me than anything. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Because I
Hmm.
believe that Hefe is the future. If we
Yes, sir.
treat him well and let him lead the way, show him
Hmm.
all the beauty that he possesses inside.
Right.
Give him a sense of pride.
That's right. That's
Say
right.
that, man.
That's
Easy.
So
right. Real shit. Real shit. And like you said, with all with Hefe and all the young producers coming up and everybody that's watching, you know what I'm saying? Just every guest we bring on, everybody we bring on, and like I said, and not just my words and the words of Dub, because that's one thing Dub like to say to community. You know what I'm saying? We
Hey, yo,
share
hold on, hold on, hold on,
information.
hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. I can't take, I cannot take credit for Communiversity. That goes to the good brother, Universal Nicholson. You know what I'm saying? That's my.
Hmm.
That's actually a thing. Communiversity
Oh
is
yeah. Well, yeah.
a,
And
is a
I heard Ashwa Kwesi said too. He's a historian. He says that too. It's
yeah,
community.
right,
So,
right. And
yeah, that's master teacher talk,
Aquaquazi
man.
is actually a part of the Communiversity
Mm,
with Universal Nelson.
mm,
And
master
they're
teacher
actually
stuff, man.
it's actually a school and a fucking curriculum
It
that's
is.
being developed
Hmm.
by the black community as we speak. I'm a
Yes,
part of
sir.
that program, so
He'll
that's
be
major,
why
and
I use
Ashwa
the term.
Kwesi will be up here in Charlotte in June too. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
Yep.
major.
Hmm. Most definitely. And hey, like I said, once again, it was a pleasure, Dub. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we appreciate everything. And like we always do on this show, we're gonna give you the last word, man.
hey, this interview has been brought to you by the good folks over here at Duce. Because if you
They better
listen,
pay us shit.
I do say, um, I appreciate this invite. I appreciate everybody that's tuning in. I appreciate everybody that replays this episode. I appreciate everybody that gained something from this. I appreciate the gentleman that invited me to the show. I appreciate the opportunity. I'm just a very appreciative individual at this point in my life, and I appreciate the fact that we are here and able to bring this to you. This is game. This is the real. It ain't even game. This is just the real. You know what I mean? Like, I guess it is game, but I ain't spitting game. Like, I ain't trying to run game. I'm just telling you what it is, man. And this is my story, and this is how I live my life. I know it may sound unbelievable to some, but yeah, I did all this shit, bro. And you could do this too, and more.
Already. So you heard it straight from the goat's mouth. We get with y'all, man. Till next time, man. Peace.
Peace.